Today, for the very first time, I am listening to... Is it just called 4?
It doesn't have a title.
Led
Zeppelin IV.
Yeah, the 4th album by the band Led Zeppelin.
There you go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another album review / reaction here on my channel. I am so excited for this because since I started doing reactions on my channel, I have been wanting to go back and do some classic rock stuff. First of all, welcome. This is my cousin Cody Musilek.
Hello.
I'm Patrick Musilek, if you're new here, which you might be because this is going to be a little different than most of the stuff I've done on my channel here. But like I was saying, since I started doing reactions on my channel, I know that like a lot of people probably won't believe that I don't know that much about Led Zeppelin and that I've never heard Stairway to Heaven, which... Yeah. I'm sure that I've heard parts of it, but I swear to you, watcher, I do not know the song Stairway to Heaven. And the other songs on this album, I don't know at all. Like, I don't know any Led Zeppelin songs at all. I know of When the Levee Breaks because they used the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da in that sweet Puff Daddy song from the Godzilla soundtrack, right? Come with me. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Is
that Kashmir or is that When the Levee Breaks?
Oh, is it?
Kashmir is like da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da.
Oh, maybe it was Kashmir then.
Yeah.
This whole time I've been thinking that... Wait, so Kashmir is a Led Zeppelin song too?
Yeah.
Oh, because I know that I should have brought my Godzilla soundtrack down here and held that up. But
so I don't know what song you're talking about. So that sounded like what you were saying.
Well, what the drums are like... The drums are just epic as crap.
Well, they are on When the Levee Breaks, so maybe that is what you're thinking of. I don't know.
I might be thinking of... Maybe I've heard them in a different context. I don't know.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. But if this is your first time here, just know... Well, first of all, if you're coming here because you've been watching my Metallica videos, thank you very much for that. My channel just keeps growing, and it absolutely baffles the mind that it does. And I'm so humbled that people like I get comments of people saying like, I can't wait for your next video.
That's great.
And I actually got a comment the other day. Someone said that me and Chris, which are the other two guys that I've been doing reactions to Metallica with. They said that I am their favorite YouTube reactor. That we are like their favorite YouTube reaction channel right now.
No higher compliment.
No, there isn't.
Great.
Because I love YouTube reactions, and I'm sure you watching this do as well. And so it's crazy to me. But anyway, if you're here from the Metallica stuff, you've subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If you're not here for that, just know I've got a lot of Metallica videos on my channel. We've been doing them since the beginning of the year, and we just have 3 more Metallica studio albums to go, and then we're going to do some live stuff and Symphony of Metallica and stuff like that. But we've done everything up to Saint Anger. So we just have Saint Anger, Death Magnetic, and Hardwired to Self-Destruct left. So go check that out. I know our 72 Seasons review, which is the album that came out this year, is over 25,000 views, I think 24,000 views.
That's crazy.
Yes, for original content,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So like, anyway.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And Cody's back, which last time he came, he actually showed me some other sort of classic stuff, I feel. We listened to Talking Heads for the first time, and I got to hear for the very first time ever, Temporary Secretary, which... We filmed a bunch of videos today, and in every video I mention that because it's the stupidest, coolest thing in the world. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. From
Paul McCartney, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I know, like I said at the beginning, it's probably unbelievable that I have never heard this album, but it's absolutely true. I grew up listening to music, like pop music, like what we at the time were referred to as like the golden oldies on the radio. And most of that stuff is from like the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
Right. So I know like the Mamas and the Papas, that's getting a little bit later, but like Tommy James and the Shondells, some of the Beatles like early work, though I've never heard a Beatles full album or anything like that, but the Beatles early work, that kind of stuff. I don't even know a lot of the names of the artists.
Yeah.
Just, like all those, the big pop songs of the day.
Sure, yeah.
I know that stuff.
That was what was on oldies radio when we were
When
kids.
we were growing up, exactly.
And I don't know that radio format really exists anymore.
I don't think so.
Like
now oldies is the 80s and even getting into the 90s.
Yeah, the oldie station in Grand Island has switched to 80s. Is like the newest stuff they play. So.
Yeah, that's the oldie station that I grew up with here from Omaha as well. So
to me, oldies is a genre. It's not a period of time. It's like anything older than 40 years or whatever.
Right. It's just its own.
It's 50s and 60s music to me.
Because that's what it was for us.
I know. That's just me, though.
I know. But so anyway, that's what I sort of grew up listening to. And then when I was in high school, and I was inspired by many different things, but I basically went from the 60s to 1996 or 7, and then just started listening to new music from there. And none of the people that were in my life ever listened to classic rock or anything from like 1960s and between 60s and mid 90s. So I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. And so the amount of things that I don't know is absolutely insane. However, with that being said, I am an audio engineer. I have a degree in audio engineering. I worked at a professional recording studio in Omaha, Nebraska for 7 years. I myself have been, I would consider working in the audio industry for the last, I think, 13 at this point. No, way more than that, because I graduated college in 2006.
Jeez.
And I worked on my own stuff for a few years, and then I started working at the studio. Yeah, so anyway, it's been a long time, and maybe close to 20 years. No way.
Longer than you've not been doing it.
Oh my gosh, that's sick. I'm 36 years old, by the way, which I think people might want to know.
Okay. Well, you haven't been working there since you're 16.
No, no. But since I've been working in the audio industry, probably I would say since I graduated college, which would have been at the age of 19 or 20.
15 plus years.
So yeah. And how old are you?
32, 33.
You gotta think about it real hard.
33.
If I'm 36, you're only 2 years younger than me.
I know.
You don't lie.
I weren't saying you were old. I'm just saying.
No, I know, but like,
you've
yeah,
been doing this for a while.
Yeah. Well, you're the same age as my sister, which
Yeah.
is the only reason I would know how old you are, because otherwise I wouldn't know.
Right.
But anyway, I feel like that's sort of important for people watching the video. The old farts who are probably watching this because they love Led Zeppelin so much.
Who are these youngins?
Yeah, exactly.
And as little as he knows, I don't know that much more. I'm not going to be like a Led Zeppelin expert here.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that he's a Led Zeppelin expert. It's just that he has heard the album, and it's
and I'm
fun.
a fan of him. I
and
like him.
and here on my channel, I normally focus on new releases, things that are brand new. But like I said at the beginning, since I've started doing reactions on my channel, I've been wanting to do some of the classic rock stuff that I am unfamiliar with, and so we'll see. But if we're listening to this and I bring up some modern band and I'm like, oh, this sounds kind of like that, or that sounds kind of like this, don't get mad at me. I understand, because I keep answering.
You understand
comments.
how time works.
Yeah, I do understand how it works, and it's like the idea that you can't compare two things.
Yeah.
Just because one thing was before the other thing.
It's how we describe everything is in terms of what we know.
I know, but
So,
even
like,
I keep getting comments on our Metallica videos like, why do you keep comparing Metallica to Godsmack? Godsmack came after Metallica. And I'm like, who cares? If it sounds the same, it doesn't matter. But I understand that, Metallica was the influence for Godsmack and not the other way around. But it's not like I'm sitting here saying, wow, that riff sounds just like Godsmack. I'll bet they copied it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it sounds like Godsmack.
Especially for these bands that were ahead of their time and influential.
Oh, sure.
You're not going to find something that predates Led Zeppelin that is like, oh, this sounds like so-and-so from the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. No. So I just want to get that out there real quick. I also want to say, like, my knowledge of Led Zeppelin is basically nothing. I honestly, like I said earlier, I thought I knew When the Levee Breaks, but you were saying I might have been thinking of Kashmir.
Maybe we're confusing.
And I've heard people mention Stairway to Heaven many, many times in pop culture, but I honestly don't know what the song sounds like. I'm guessing when we listen to it, there might be parts of it that I know.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to be like, oh, yeah, I do know this, turns out, and I know the whole song.
Yeah, and I don't think so. Yeah, I think I would know if that was the case. Yeah, because I keep saying that. Yeah. So what I think Led Zeppelin's going to sound like, though, and this might be the most interesting part of the video, I think that I know Jimmy Page is in the band, and he's the guitar player, right?
Well, Robert Plant sings.
Robert Plant.
John Bonham is drums.
John Bonham. I've heard those names.
And then Jimmy Page. I guess is guitar. And then there's a fourth guy that I can't remember his name.
We can look. Sorry. But Jimmy Page is a famous guitar player, though, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And Robert Plant, I know because he did those albums with Alison Krauss, which I am familiar with that.
Good stuff.
Because the first album that they did together was produced by T-Bone Burnett, which I definitely know.
Well, I'm not going to see anything in here. There's no text on this. I mean, well, maybe it's on the liner notes.
This just says...
Produced by Jimmy Page. But yeah, Jimmy Page plays guitar.
John Paul Jones
Yes, John Paul Jones.
is the other guy.
I just can't remember what he plays.
Okay.
And I can never remember his name, even though he's very famous.
Yeah. So I don't know. The thing that is kind of creeping me out is that I don't know what to expect here. I do not think that I will like the singer's voice. I'm expecting it to be like a higher pitched. Like in my head, I've sort of associated, as I do with all the classic rock music that I don't know.
Yeah.
I associate it with hair metal.
Yeah.
And so I would assume that these guys had a pretty big influence on that.
Yeah. Right.
But probably just all heavy music. I should say as well, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, like I am a fan of heavy music, and people get mad at me sometimes when you're like, how could you say you're a fan of Metallica or metal music and you don't know Metallica?
Right.
So I'm sure the same thing could be said here. How could you be a fan of heavy music and not
of rock music?
Not that I'm necessarily expecting this to be heavy. However, I am sort of expecting it to be heavy for the day.
It is.
Because was this before Black Sabbath? This album, no,
their
but
first
Led Zeppelin?
album. No, this album, no. Their first album, 69. I believe Black Sabbath.
That was Black Sabbath's first album as well,
Yeah,
I think.
so they were
around the same contemporaries. Okay. Yeah, I will say I do own on CD.
Yeah, despite never hearing this album, you own the vinyl.
I own the vinyl and these two. Yeah, and the CDs, for those of you who don't know, I have a CD collection that's over 3,000 CDs, and I just buy stuff when I find it, and I'm sure I bought these somewhere for $1 or in a box of stuff at some point, and I didn't even know that I had them. So, so that's why we do have that. And the vinyl I just bought in a box of vinyl a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you got a killer deal.
Yeah, I got a box.
And a video on your channel.
I actually have a video on my channel going through a box of crate of records that I bought, and this is one of the records in there. And it's kind of one of the things that spurred me into thinking about listening to this. And then I knew that you were going to be coming over, and we were going to be doing some stuff. And for me, to me, you are sort of like the let's listen to more classic, older music guy, rather than the like, here's some new thing I found last week that just came out.
Right.
Usually that would be me showing you stuff like that.
Exactly.
But I'm also expecting this to be bluesy. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yes, especially when the levee breaks.
Okay.
Which I think is an old blues song.
Okay. Which maybe that'll be my favorite song then. We'll see.
I would expect that to be your favorite Led Zeppelin song if you heard all of them.
Okay. Okay. Well, and I did see that on here that we need to keep this out so we have the.
Yeah.
But I did see that when the levee breaks is 7 minutes and 8 seconds long, which is long.
Yeah.
Stairway
to
Heaven is 7:55, so it's a minute longer.
Yeah.
And those are the two longest songs. The rest of the songs are all. There's two that are about 5 minutes. There's a 5.5. There's a 5 minute, and then there's a 3.5. Okay. And I see the song Going to California, and that makes me roll my eyes.
Really?
Because I am so over songs about going to California and how California is the greatest place in the world.
I don't know what it's about.
I'm sure it's not. I'm just saying that makes me roll my eyes. And also it makes me think of Rob Zombie's song called Go to California.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure isn't inspired by this, but that's Go to California, Go to California. Bibles, baby, stars in their eyes. It's a great song. But so yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll just listen. We'll just get to it very shortly. But like, I'm just very curious, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I know about Led Zeppelin that would be interesting. Do they have other songs that I would know that are not on this album other than Kashmir?
Yeah, for sure. There's Good Times, Bad Times.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
Dazed and Confused.
I just know the movie Dazed and Confused.
Right. That probably took the title from this.
Okay.
Maybe, unless that was an expression.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank right now, but every single album had big hits on it.
A big hit. Okay.
So for ones you would know, I don't know.
So when they first came out, they were a big band, even with their first album.
They were the number one band in the world, I think.
Okay.
Is either that's what they were called, or I don't know if they self-proclaimed that.
Okay.
But they were huge,
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I know like Led Zeppelin in the music sphere is like very well respected. They are a classic band for a reason.
They were like, I mean, the Beatles ended in 69, 70. Mm-hmm. Their first album was 69, and they kind of like ruled the 70s in terms of the rock world.
Okay.
Their last album
and this album came out when? This is
72, 3?
This says 71.
Then they were really cranking them out the first.
I was going to say, they released 4 albums in 3 years, 4 years.
It could be.
That's crazy, but I guess.
They're short albums.
Well, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
But they were like on top of the world, and then their last album was, I think, not as highly regarded, and then their drummer died, and so they quit.
Okay, really?
So they didn't make it past the 70s.
How many albums were after this one?
Oh, they have, I think, 9 total. Or
Oh, really?
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they did go well into the 70s and not into the 80s, or?
Their last album, I think, was 1980, but that was like a posthumous, like, rarities or something,
Okay.
like B-sides kind of an album
Okay, interesting.
that they consider a studio album. But,
Okay. And if we're wrong about any of this stuff, just let us know in the comments.
they had a really good concert film that, oh, shoot, the song remains the same. Well, I say really good. I think it's kind of a weird one. It's like concert footage mixed into like weird, like Lord of the Rings stuff. Which, yeah, and that's that. Like with a lot of rock in the 70s, this album, especially of theirs, is definitely like Tolkien inspired.
Okay.
Some of the songs, at least.
Well, that's awesome. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Okay. So at least
So if
with,
it's like fantasy-ish kind of, that's cool.
there's like some like Celtic influences on some of the songs.
Oh, that's okay. That's interesting.
At least a couple of them. And Stairway to Heaven most prominently.
So I'm trying to think of any bands that I know of that I've listened to that could compare to this at all. And like the only thing I can think of, and I don't think this is right at all, would be like Journey. Is that?
I mean, they're like pop rock.
Or like Styx, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, they're like pop rock too. This is definitely heavier than those bands.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll like it. I don't know how the production's going to sound. I mean, you're talking early 70s. So.
Right.
But this is.
But I've heard some really great. You have to adjust your expectations, I know for sure.
Yes, and you're good at doing that. So
yeah, and I will say we did manage to find, and we are going to be listening to. We looked online, and I did manage to find the 2014 remaster for this, and we are going to be listening to it in 24-bit and stuff. So this is going to be like the highest quality this album's ever been released, and so we're hoping that that is the definitive way to listen to this. I did also rip my CD copy, so we might do a comparison afterwards, but we'll just kind of see. If it sounds phenomenal, I'm not even going to question it.
Right.
If I listen to it and I'm like, what the heck? Though I was trying to do some reading on some like forums and stuff where people talk only about like high resolution audio, and everyone was like the 2014 remasters are the best.
Oh, okay.
So cool. I guess that's great. All right. So without further ado, I guess one other thing I will say, I don't know how I haven't seen other Led Zeppelin reactions online, and I would just assume maybe that's because everybody already knows them and I'm just an idiot.
Maybe.
Although that's not true, because there's 15-year-olds who have their own reaction channels and they probably don't know Led Zeppelin.
Right,
but if for some reason the copyright to this doesn't work out, I may have to upload the video without the music in it at all, and then you'll have to like load your own copy with us. If that is the case, I will do countdowns to each song. I forgot to do that with our other video, but that's all right.
You can put them on screen if you needed to.
Yeah, I could, but that's never a good way to do it.
Well,
really.
you'd give them the timestamp, so like they could just click start when the time.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And usually
and it doesn't need to be to
exactly.
the exact
No.
to listen along.
And we don't talk very much during the songs either.
No.
So we'll see. If I have to upload the video without it, I'll do that. If we have to upload the video in 2 parts, we can maybe do that as well. It just kind of depends what YouTube's thinking on the day that I upload this.
Yeah.
So
we didn't talk about it. Some people call this album Zoso because of those symbols, which you had mentioned to me earlier. You have the 4 symbols here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, each of those was like designed by each of the band members. I don't know. I think this is actually, I'm not sure. This might be Jimmy Page.
Mm-hmm.
He got his first. So the fact that his looks like the word Zoso, some people call this album Zoso.
Oh, that's interesting.
They just call it the 4th album. It doesn't even,
have a title or anything.
it doesn't even have a name on the spine. So,
And this just says Led Zeppelin.
yeah.
On the spine is all
maybe
it
it's
says.
technically just a self-titled, but their first album was Led Zeppelin, so it can't just be Led Zeppelin. Their second album was Led Zeppelin II. Their third one was Led Zeppelin III, and so
This is by
it
default
follows.
Led Zeppelin IV.
Yeah, so that's why
that makes
it's called
sense.
that.
That makes sense.
And this album was huge, and there's several hits. The first one on here, Black Dog, was a big hit. Rock and Roll. I mean, I would say like, oh, you'll know that, but obviously you're not going to. But Rock and Roll was a big hit. Stairway to Heaven. From what I've been told, that's like at one point in time that was like the most played song on the radio. It held like the world record.
I could see that, especially if it's funny though too, because if they did play it on the radio, every time they played it, it was worth the amount of time 3 other songs were.
Yeah.
So that's
probably when the DJ had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
put Stairway on, and then When the Levee Breaks. One of these, I think, Going to California, I recognize.
Misty Mountain Hop. Just the Misty Mountains are a place in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
yeah, so that's awesome.
See, I don't know much about Tolkien stuff.
That's what, if there's any references to it and I can understand what he's saying, I'll know it. But
and I believe, well, yeah, that song specifically, I think, is pretty like Celtic sounding. So that's you're probably spot on with that. So
cool.
First up, we got Black Dog.
All right. Okay, so I know we were just going to listen to this song, but I have to say we had to take a little bit of a break there because I had to run to the restroom, which is ironic because I could have put on Stairway to Heaven and easily been back in that time, but I figured that I probably should be here when we listen to that. However, I did look up Led Zeppelin's wiki page while I was up there, and I have to say, yeah, I did. First of all, there's one Led Zeppelin song that I do actually know pretty well.
Okay.
And it goes a little bit like this.
Is that immigrant song? Is that okay?
Right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, you're right.
I come from a land with a license or whatever. The licensed snow. The license.
Probably
licensed
the
snow.
ice and snow.
Oh yeah, that one. But the only part of that song I know is in Shrek, and is in School of Rock. So when he's driving the van and he's all excited and they're like dun 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 dun.
I could see Jack Black screaming that out.
So and he absolutely that's what he's doing in the van.
Was it used well in Shrek?
Yes, well, it's when Snow White. It's Shrek 2, or Shrek 3 actually. When Snow White is attacking, she goes up and because Snow White can sing to the birds and she can like control the animals. Oh, right, yeah. So she goes up and they're all following her and she's like, little birdie, like come and follow me. And then she gets up there and she goes dun 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 dun, dun. And then she starts screaming and the birds all attack. I feel like you couldn't use a song better in a movie
hilarious.
than that. So anyway, that I found, and now I'm pumped to listen to this because this is the album that came after that.
Yeah.
And to me, that I'm like, that's shocking. Okay.
All right.
So, but I have to also say, this is just the first sentence on their dumb wiki page, and I'm like, I should have looked this up earlier. To be fair, we recorded a lot of stuff already today. So this says, let me go back to actual Led Zeppelin's page. Led Zeppelin was an English rock band formed in London in 1968, so we got that right. Mm-hmm. The group comprised of the four people we already talked about. Mm-hmm. It says, with a heavy guitar-driven sound, they are cited as one of the progenitors of hard rock and heavy metal, although their style drew from a variety of influences, including blues and folk music. Led Zeppelin have been credited as significantly impacting the nature of the music industry, particularly in development of AOR, or album-oriented rock, and stadium rock.
Never understood that album-oriented. It's
Me
like
either.
a radio format, but it's like radio. They don't just play albums.
I don't know. Like to me, that would be sort of a negative connotation.
I think it's
and like stadium rock to me is not like a good thing either.
I think AOR. So I think it's kind of describing the nature of how radio stations prior to the 70s were all focused on singles, and artists were focused on putting out singles, and they all had to be the exact less than 3 minutes or whatever.
Right.
And that kind of changed. I think partly because of like Stairway to Heaven.
Right, and
they
longer
can play
songs.
A 7-minute song.
Yeah.
So I think it's not exactly a genre. It's more like a how we think about music.
Right.
Kind of a thing, which is cool because
that is actually really cool. And how many bands could say that they have been officially cited as changing or impacting music or whatever, like changing the direction of music, which is pretty crazy. I do want to say I did read a little bit about this album in that they recorded it at this like sort of random place where they had these beautiful gardens outside, so they could like go in and work, and they recorded everything in a relatively short period of time, and then Jimmy Page took it and he actually mixed the album, which is awesome to me. I think that's great.
Yeah, and I think he did the remasters and everything. So
well, it said that he mixed the album, and then he mixed it over the course of 10 days and took it back to the band, and they didn't like it. And so they went on a tour for like 3 months. They came back and he remixed it over the course of a month, and then they liked it at that point. And so that's what they ended up going with, which is interesting. It says every song on the album is their original song, except for When the Levee Breaks, which is a cover of a Memphis Mini blues song.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I think it's quite different than that, though. I don't know if they just borrowed the lyrics.
I don't know.
But it is. A lot of their album is very blue, or a lot of their music is very bluesy. Yeah, for sure. I should have mentioned that. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. Well, I said blues rock, and you said yeah. The album has sold over 37 million copies worldwide. Is one of the best-selling albums in the United States of all time. I read a thing about. They was talking about the album artwork, and it was talking about the symbols. And how they each designed their own, and that to this day Jimmy Page has never said what his means.
Is his the Zoso one?
Yeah, he did not. It did not mean. He did not mean for it to be a word. Although I think if you look at it, you can tell that it's obviously a word.
Yeah. And
No.
I think on the actual album. Yeah. So like. It's right above. It says like the symbols and then Led Zeppelin. So like I think that's kind of why people started calling this Zoso, is like the symbols got heavily associated.
Well, it's said that they did not want to have the title of this album is the 4 symbols.
Okay.
And each member of the band picked out a symbol that represented something. He's the only one that created his own symbol.
Oh.
I guess.
Is Robert Plant the plant?
I did not read that part far ahead into it, but I did also say that one of these songs is called Battle of Evermore. And I think Evermore might be also a place, or at least if not a place, it's definitely something that would definitely be Tolkien inspired. I did not read anything about Tolkien in the wiki page. I did not read the whole thing. But that was just a little bit that I did read. But knowing the Immigrant Song is Led Zeppelin, first of all, that's a very fast song, which I wouldn't have expected. And also it's a pretty heavy song. So like I'm really intrigued to see what we get here.
Yeah, there's some fast ones on here.
So before we do that, there's one more thing we have to do. Look right here on the table, and we'll be right back with you in a second. For this video, we have something very special. This is the first time either of us has tried this. This is one of the new Baja Blasts released by Mountain Dew. It's a red can. I know it's kind of hard to tell. Guava. Caribbean Splash, it's called. Mountain Dew with a blast of natural and artificial guava flavors.
I don't know what guava tastes like.
A guava, I have no clue. It's pink.
Yeah.
The last pink Mountain Dew was pink lemonade, which is Spark.
That was a good one.
Yeah, they still make that one.
Yeah.
Yes, we got some ice chunks. Do you get ice chunks?
I don't. No, I did not. That's okay.
You know what I just realized we forgot?
What?
Did you taste it yet?
No.
Taste it.
All right. I inhaled some of the bubbles. Okay.
It tastes like...
Oh, that's good. I don't think it really tastes like Baja Blast.
It tastes...
Well,
I was just going to say I think it tastes just like regular Baja Blast. I think that's really weird. But what I was going to say we forgot to go over the fade out board for our blur video.
Oh,
Look how many fade outs there are there.
See if we can beat that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 16 songs.
Okay, well, we only have 8 songs to work with here, but we'll see if we can beat that.
Yeah, for those of you who are new to my channel and you don't realize, I hate songs that fade out. It's unacceptable in every single possible permutation of a fade out. So
it's weird on that Blur album because that was 90s.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just something that they did is pop music. Yeah. So they just faded it out, even though some of the songs were close to 5 minutes. So,
well, 70s they did it a lot.
Yeah. I would expect these songs to fade out, so it's not going to enrage me like it would if I was listening to something from today.
Sure.
Okay, without any further ado, this is Black Dog. Again, we're listening to the 2014 remaster. Black Dog from Led Zeppelin's album Symbols.
Led Zeppelin IV.
Led Zeppelin IV. Here we go. I've heard this.
Oh, yeah?
This part.
Okay.
This is exactly what I was afraid of. He sounds just like the dude from Guns N' Roses. But okay. Listen to it. Get over it.
Sure.
This is very bluesy.
Yeah.
The idea of doing like a lick and then stopping and then vocals over the top, that is blues.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge blues fan, so I'm not saying I'm a blues expert or anything.
You like blues-inspired stuff.
I do really very
sure.
much, yes. there is no low end at all. I mean, I can hear the bass, but it's doing bass stuff. There's no, like, the way music would be now. This is very cool with the delay.
Yeah. Is the rest of the song familiar to you?
No.
Okay.
Just that opening part.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm curious if we're going to get, like, long guitar solos and stuff in this, and if we do, what that sounds like. That's fun. I would never have thought that this was Led Zeppelin.
Really?
Yeah, no.
That's funny.
I should have also warned people, like, if I don't like this, I'm going to talk about the stuff that I don't like, and I might hurt some people's feelings. Because people still get mad at me that they say that I think One is Metallica's worst song. And I might not like Stairway to Heaven.
It is what it is.
I mean, this... It's interesting because, like, I love that you can hear the kick drum, which even at the time in the early 70s, like, music was not mixed the way that we think of music today mixed.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you can hear the kick and the snare so nicely. Okay, there's a... That definitely sounds like right in the middle. That reverb on the vocal, too.
Yeah. They do that a lot.
Okay, so the drums were recorded in stereo because we have some cymbals that are all spread a little. But the vocals... Sorry. That's pretty cool. It is cool.
Yeah. Does that guitar sound weird?
It sounds like it was recorded in the next room. That's all right. We were expecting it.
Do you need to stop this?
Yeah, you can stop it. Where'd I put the chalk?
Oh, there's a box. I don't know.
No. There's got to be a chalk. Here's a chalk.
Number one.
Okay. It's number one.
So, first impressions?
Okay, so first impression, I was very surprised at how thin everything sounded.
Okay.
Just because the bass is not the way bass is done now. So I'm really surprised that in this remaster, they didn't try to add as much in there as possible.
I wonder how different it is. Maybe it used to be really bad.
Oh, I wonder. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm curious.
We might have to listen to something.
Yeah, we'll listen to the...
Because I think our CD is very old.
It's old, but I think it actually was in a collection of maybe all four of their albums.
Maybe. There's no way that this is the one that came out in like 06 or whatever.
No, I was thinking 1996.
Maybe.
Which it could
It's got a whole thing in here saying like the magic of the compact disc format and how it'll last forever and don't touch the shiny side.
Yeah.
So that seems like 80s to me, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Possibly early to mid 80s.
Yeah.
So the guitar tone is really interesting because there's different ways you can get distortion in a guitar. And I'm not a guitar expert at all, and I know that people who are Robert Plant, Jimmy Page fans are probably huge guitar people, and that's not me. I've recorded lots of different sounding guitars, and I can play the guitar with the barest minimalist amount of talent that would be possible. Just terrible. but again, I've made all sorts of different guitar sounds. Now, these guitars sounded very overdriven as opposed to, or as opposed to being like, well, no, maybe they sounded more fuzzy as opposed to overdriven.
Okay.
And I would assume at the time they didn't have a lot of the like the tech that would become available relatively probably shortly.
Like in terms of like
guitar pedals and things, yeah. Like distortion pedals and things like that.
Yeah, I think that stuff kind of started in the 60s.
Right, because I know like Jimi Hendrix was known for using effects pedals and things, and that would have been in the 60s, right?
Delay pedals and stuff.
Yeah, they had stuff like that. So anyway, I'm sorry. We probably should have had my friend Chris here, who's a guitar guy.
It's okay.
But anyway, the way the guitar sounded was a surprise to me.
Oh.
Like I was expecting them to not be as like and I know I just said like the Immigrant Song, dun 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 dun. I was expecting it to be more like that, and this was not like that. This was more like the distortion was just it was surprising to me.
Okay.
In an okay way, but I was just surprised. Like listening to the drums, you can absolutely tell why like a lot of the music that I like was fans of that, because it sounds like sort of like hip hop drum sample thing. I mean, it's not like hip hop drums at all, but like all hip hop drums sound sort of in that vein, kind of.
Yeah.
Most of it was in the middle, and like it reminded me of Black Keys stuff a little bit, especially there's some of their earlier work, which I'm not as familiar with as their more recent stuff, to like going back about 15 years. So I think that if I had to guess, I would say the drums were actually recorded in mono, which is the way the Black Keys record. So they put one microphone on each thing, right? Okay. And then you can still pan them in the stereo image. So you can record everything so that there's with one microphone or multiple microphones, and then you just pan things wherever you want them in the mix.
Right. Cool, because am I wrong? Back then it would have just been like 4-track recording, or would they have 8 and 16 track back then? I don't know. That kind of came around.
I don't know. I would guess you could get drums to sound that way with just 4 microphones. Okay. Yes, easily.
Okay.
The way to do that, though, would be to have overheads and then one on kick, one on snare.
Okay.
It would be how you would do that. Which it could have been. There's a very famous technique called the 5150 technique, where you use 2 microphones, where you have one 50 inches above the snare drum and directly above, and 51 inches in front of the snare drum, aligned with the kick, basically.
Okay.
That's a very famous, like, older technique for recording drums. Okay. This was not that, because I could tell that there's 2 ways to mic drums. Mono, where you put one microphone on each thing, or stereo, where you put up a stereo overhead. They're called overhead microphones, where you put 2 microphones above, and then you take, when you're mixing the drums, you take those and you pan one left all the way and one right all the way, and then you can hear all of the drums in those tracks. So then you take your kick drum mic and your snare drum mic and you move it to where it would be in the stereo image, and you kind of match the placement of those so you get the accurate stereo image of the drum kit. And a lot of music is done that way.
Okay.
However, a lot of music is also done with like mono. Like the Black Keys, they always record their drums in mono. Like just one, not mixed to mono, but they record it with just no stereo image involved with the recording. Right. And then you can just place the drums in the mix wherever you want, including the cymbals.
The drums as a whole.
Right. And so in this case, no, each individual string. Like you could put the kick in the far left and the snare in the far right.
Oh.
That would be creating a stereo image, but you recorded them.
Because they still have a mic on each aspect of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's still technically recording it in mono, because you're not getting any stereo image. You're not getting any stereo recording of anything.
It's multiple mono.
It's multiple mono microphones. Gotcha. Yes. And that's probably what I would guess they did here, though that's just me kind of guessing.
Okay.
You could tell that some of the some of the cymbal crashes, were off to the side a little bit. So that was something I was listening to. I hated his vocals the entire time.
Yeah.
I really did. I think that they are really bad.
So you compared him to Axl Rose.
Yes.
Which I guess you're right. I never really noticed how similar that is.
I mean,
to me, the music is so different than Guns N' Roses that I never would have made that connection.
See, the thing is, I don't really know any Guns N' Roses either.
Right.
Like, I know...
You know what his voice sounds like, though.
Right. I know, "Welcome to the jungle," which is exactly what this sounds like to me. Like,
it's weird.
So that's very disappointing to me, but I was expecting to not like the vocals as much, so we'll see. And I know I said a while ago that I did know Immigrant Song, but that I don't really, the only part I know is the ice and snow part, and then the thing.
Yeah,
so
you wouldn't necessarily expect all of his vocals to sound like
right,
the yelling.
And so I didn't anticipate this. So I will say I was maybe a little bit disappointed with the way the guitar sounded. I was expecting this to be more bluesy guitar, and that was more of an aggressive sort of sounding guitar. And I'm sorry with my terminology, but to me it was either fuzzy or overdriven, and it's hard for me to sometimes tell the difference. You know, if you use a fuzz pedal, to me, you're getting more of like a white noisy sound, and an overdrive pedal, you're getting more of that sort of like muted like bluesy sound is what I would assume. Okay. And so I was expecting more of that, but instead we got more of the like the white noisy sound. Now
I guess we'll see if that changes.
Right.
To me, I've never listened to this with headphones for one.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, I hear it in the background here on the radio, whatever. So I wouldn't necessarily, it could change up on the other songs. Well,
and the other thing that I want to keep in mind too is like this being 1971 is really interesting because even at this point still, not all music was mixed the way that we think of music today, where you have the kick and the snare in the middle, the vocals in the middle, and then with something like this, you have one rhythm guitar player on the left and one rhythm guitar player on the right, and then the bass guitar is in the middle. Mm-hmm. I have Nancy Sinatra records from this exact same time period where the drum kit is all in the right and the strings are in the right, and Nancy Sinatra's voice and the bass guitar are all panned far left.
Yeah.
And it's unbearable for me to listen to that.
I wonder if the new remasters have kind of, because I know they've done that with like the Beatles remasters more recently.
Like a stereo
mix.
Make
it a more, I mean, I don't know the right terms, but like you just said, it sounds like a modern mix.
More modern,
where you would not just pan something all the way to the right for the hell of it. Mm-hmm. So we should listen to the older CD after this, at least.
Yeah.
Skip around.
So, but I just wanted to say, like, I'm very happy that this was mixed with that mentality of drums in the middle, bass in the middle, vocals in the middle, guitars panned to the right side. I will also say one of the things that I found on Wiki was that there was keyboards listed for one of the guys playing keyboards occasionally.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see if we'll get any piano or keyboards on this at all.
I'm not sure which one that would be. There's some harmonica.
Okay.
Which is really
I think it was just when I was looking at the Led Zeppelin in general page and not necessarily for this album, so maybe that would have been on a later album.
Possible.
But we'll see. I think it would be awesome if we did get some piano. I think that would be cool, but
maybe
we'll see.
On rock and, unless I'm crazy, maybe the next song might have
Okay. Well, let's get to that one.
Okay.
And just see what we think here.
Rock and roll.
The lack of bass on that was the most shocking thing to me.
Yeah, okay.
Very, very shocking.
Yeah.
So, okay, rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Oh yeah, that hi-hat's panned off to the left. A lot more bass here, but the bass might just be playing lower notes.
Oh.
I will say one of the classic rock bands that I do know relatively well is ZZ Top.
Oh.
So
interesting.
Now I'm more familiar with their more modern work, like from 1980 on, but I do know that their more popular stuff was before that. So
that's kind of bluesy.
It's very bluesy, but it's way slower than this.
Yeah.
Like this is faster.
Sure.
Oh, also the guitar solo in that first song, I don't know. It sounded really weird when they was playing lower notes.
Yeah.
It was okay. Yeah, we'll see. Bass sounds way better here. See, now whenever I hear a rock band like stop and have someone sing something, it just makes me think of Metallica.
Oh.
Because they do it all the time. And they do it in a really, really good way. Like, it's very impactful when they do it every time, but it's almost like a cliche with them. So, but also that's a very bluesy thing.
Yeah.
So. Okay, this is a guitar solo. I didn't even realize. It's off to the side. Some little delays in there. Oh.
They stopped for the guitar.
Yeah, that's cool. Piano.
Oh, there you go.
Piano.
I see. I don't know
You
why.
said it.
I don't know why I knew it was this song, but
Yeah.
I remember this part. So I looking in the book, like the lyrics. Yeah,
I
it's
just
so
think this
awesome.
is so cool.
It's really cool. The lyrics they print in here are only for Stairway to Heaven.
That's how it was in the booklet as well.
Yeah.
Or I think that's what
In
it's.
the album.
Yeah.
Cool.
It said the Stairway to Heaven lyrics. There was
It's okay.
a specific way, like the artwork. There was like a whole section about the artwork.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, gotta pay attention. I like these guitars way better, the way they sound.
Yeah.
But I think they're playing different stuff. Like they're not playing full open chords or anything. This is less AC/DC and more like I expected it to be. That first song was a little bit more AC/DC playing. I love the toms. I love the way the drums sound, actually.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a little bit more kick and snare, but that's a kick at least, but that's more of a modern thing.
No
Awesome. Awesome. That was great.
Yeah.
I really liked that. That was just rock and roll, which, I mean, I guess
Rock and
that
roll?
literally was just like rock and roll, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
It is kind of it kind of epitomizes rock and roll like after that point.
Well, before that point.
Well,
I mean, I'm thinking Elvis Presley,
sure.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what his band
You
was
think-
playing behind him, just without all the distortion.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I mean, yeah. So that was great. I liked that. I liked the guitar style there a lot better. I mean, they were just doing more like single string stuff and noodling around rather than chords, like open chords or anything not open chords, but like chords, which they were doing more on the first song. I definitely like that song better than the first song. Okay. I will say I did enjoy the first song, like the part at the beginning that I recognized, and then when they repeated that, like
When
that,
they stop and
yeah, that is really cool. But this was neat and just a cool little thing. Like that's the shortest song. Oh no, there's another song kind of like that later.
yeah,
on
I think
that's-
this was maybe, I don't know if it was the lead single. Obviously, they knew Stairway to Heaven was going to be big,
Yeah.
or else they wouldn't have printed the lyrics. Just
So
for
this
that.
was a single.
I think so. Yeah, this was definitely
Okay.
a single. This one, you hear
Okay.
this on the radio today. Same with Black Dog, really.
Okay, really. I don't know where I had heard that first Black Dog song. It felt like some sort of a soundtrack or something to me.
There might have been a commercial that used it. Or no, there's a commercial that used this song pretty prominently in recent years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they've like commercialized their
Okay,
music.
well, that's
a bit.
cool.
Obviously, it ended up in Shrek. So
Yeah,
they don't
right,
mind
right.
licensing it out.
Yeah. Well, that's like a famous that's a yeah. Okay, so
So you may have heard bits and pieces here and there.
maybe, but that song I didn't recognize any of it. I don't think at all. So
That's funny.
yeah, I
'Cause
guess
that's a huge song.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I like that. The bass was a lot more low there, and I don't know if it's just because he was doing lower stuff or if that song was just mixed to be a little bit more low. So I don't know. It's just really interesting. Like I have to keep reminding myself the year that this was made, because
53 years
so
ago.
much music now are bands trying to sound like this,
Right.
but you just can't do certain things now that you would back then,
Right.
because you have to have like the kick and the snare and the vocals be of a certain quality to exist along. Because if that came on the radio sounding like that next to any other CD I own, it would sound like it was from a different planet.
If this was a new release that you were reacting to, you would be.
I'd say it was the worst thing I ever heard.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah, but you can't think that way.
Yes,
You have
exactly.
you have to take into context. And so like I do that. I will definitely say that it is still feeling very thin. However, I think that might just be that there's lots of reasons for that, you know? And it depends if this was definitely recorded onto tape. And when you record stuff onto tape, you have to go through the process of denoising it.
Right.
And if it was bad tape or whatever at the time, or the tape machine, whatever, when you denoise, that's where you lose a lot of the definition of things. And with remasters, a lot of doing the remastering with stuff this old is if they can go back to the earliest version imaginable, and then then use modern denoising technology to take all of that out. You know, the thing that I think about sometimes, the thing that scares me a lot now is with all this AI stuff that's happening, you know, someone could very easily write a program where they plug this song into some AI and they say, make this song sound as good as possible by today's standards. And it kicks out exactly that, but like with everything.
It's freaky.
It is freaky.
They're releasing a new Beatles song later this year that they keep saying is like the last Beatles song, the last recording we have of all 4 of them.
Yeah.
And they're like using AI to enhance it. And I'm curious what it's going to sound like.
Yeah. See, the thing is, knowing how all the processes that go into stuff, I could absolutely see how AI would just make everything sound incredible.
Its head. Yeah.
But also just like mastering is such a very specific side to the audio industry that is going to probably just go away completely. Because if you have a good program that you can just plug something into and say, master this. Yeah. But the thing is, if you give it the track you're giving it and a reference track and say, master it to sound like this, and it can just do it, you've eliminated one of the most important.
You could just have a Led Zeppelin plug-in in your program.
Yeah,
it's
literally,
like,
you could.
Song sound like Led Zeppelin.
And that's what's going to be in the future. I know right now there's some guys in Sweden who are these big, like really smart guys, I guess, and they have created their own AI that they've taught it all about metal music and death metal music, or the style of music that I think is death metal, Swedish, like melodic death metal. Sure. But they never showed it anything. Like they never loaded any songs into it. Yeah. They taught it all about it. And then what they do is every day they tell it to put out, like, I think they said they go through like 25 songs a day, where the song writes its own, like 25 songs a day. Yeah. And most of them are trash, but every now and then there's one that's really good.
And then they use it to train.
No, they release it.
Oh.
They're an actual legit thing. There's a project that they're doing, they're releasing it. Oh. Now the thing is, there's a lot of like online, like, how real is this? You know?
Right, yeah.
And I don't know. But they say that they are not like copying anything, because that would be illegal in terms of like, that's the big thing with the AI stuff. Oh, sorry, we shouldn't be talking about this forever in this. I know, I'm sorry. But like, it's just an interesting thing to think about, you know. I
especially in the context of all this stuff that's
remastering, remaking,
the biggest songs of all time from 50 some years ago.
Yeah.
And like what you can even do today.
And the thing is, like, if you could run this through a filter and have it sound like something that was made today, but with these sources, would you want to go back and listen to the other one?
Be weird.
I don't know.
I'd be curious what it sounded like.
Yeah. If it sounded better, why would there ever be any? I mean, I understand.
Like
I understand.
And Jimmy Page is still alive, so he could do that. Say, this is still our vision. This is still our song.
Absolutely.
And it wouldn't feel, and it would, I don't know.
I don't know. That's
weird.
Okay, so this is the Battle of Evermore, which I'm really excited about, because battle means epic. Evermore just sounds like a Tolkien-ish type of thing. So I'm curious. I have not heard a single word he said either of these first 2 songs, because I'm not paying attention to that at all, which I'm not a lyric guy, so we'll see.
That's okay.
I would like there to be a slow part where he's singing nicely rather than
I'll just wait.
Screaming, so we'll see.
We'll get there. I don't know about this one. I can't even remember which song this is. But
well, we'll see. Okay, this is the Battle of Evermore.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I think this is...
So they're doing lots of like repeating and delays and things, which are interesting. Mm-hmm. This is cool.
They have a song on a different album where he screams out, and it echoes, but the echo hits before his yell.
Ah, pre-delay?
Yeah.
That's interesting. You don't see that very often. Okay, that's cool. So that sounds like it could be... So that doesn't sound like an acoustic guitar. That sounds like either a mandolin or a bouzouki or something like that.
Bouzouki.
So he is definitely singing this one. The Dark Lord rides in force tonight.
We didn't even talk about, there's a lot of like parents back then were very concerned about their children worshiping the devil by listening to Led Zeppelin.
Really?
Yeah. This is like the first band where they're like, if you play the song backwards, it talks about the devil and stuff like that. There was a whole panic about it. It went to Congress and everything.
Really?
I think I feel like Jimmy Page may have had to like testify
That's interesting.
in a case. But yeah, same with the whole like D&D.
Hold on,
scare.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh, sorry.
This is weird.
This is one of my least favorite ones on here.
This is what?
One of my least favorite ones on
Really?
here. Yeah.
I'm loving it so far.
Cool.
But it doesn't. This you could make this today and it would sound good.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden a rock band comes in and it sounds thin and terrible like the first two songs,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a mandolin. And an acoustic guitar off to the other side, I would guess. I wonder how they perform this live. You can't overlap yourself live.
Yeah.
So
Just two vocalists, I guess.
a little artistic there for my taste.
Sure.
Because I can't tell him he's singing the wrong note. He meant to sing that
That's
note.
right. They're all the right
Did it work
notes.
with the other note he meant to sing at the same time? I mean, he just sounds like a lady.
Yeah.
Very feminine voice. Not this part. The ring wraiths are out in black. This is straight up Lord of the Rings. That's so badass. That makes me like it way more.
I love when there was a period where like hard rockers got into Lord of the Rings. It's like these days you
There
think of it
is.
as like a nerdy thing,
Yeah.
but it was like a cool underground thing.
I mean, there's still bands that are just like straight up just sing about folk stuff, but
sure.
But yes, the fact that this is like one of the highest selling albums of all time, and they're like, the ring wraiths are out in black. Because at the time that was edgy.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're like Frodo and Sam. Okay, come on. I can't carry it, but I can carry you. Makes me cry every time. Is this the whole song?
I think so.
Oh,
That's the reason it's not my favorite.
yeah.
It's okay though because Stairway is next.
I love the subject matter,
Yeah.
but not necessarily the execution of the song arrangement. It's too similar. They need to do different things.
Right. You know, this one was not a hit.
I could understand why. I wonder how much the remaster boosted this. You know, we're listening to this now, and I'm almost thinking it's too loud. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, they need to bring it back.
The drums and the bass and the guitar. Did Jimmy Page release solo music?
I think so. Well,
All the delay
think so.
stuff is very cool. I will say, like, it's clear that they were experimenting with things,
yeah.
which is really neat. I'm not sure it's like really good, but the fact that it was they were experimenting is cool.
And the vocals sound good, right? Am I crazy?
No, I thought they sounded great in that song.
Yeah.
Do I count that as a fade? Yes,
They're
because that's
still hitting the notes.
I mean, those are the only elements we had the whole song. So
yeah.
it's not like, you know, if,
Yeah.
if there was a whole band in that song, and then they just repeated that acoustic guitar part, and then the mandolin, I think is a mandolin.
Yeah, that one's not my favorite. Just the.
I would love to. Can you bear with me while I look up the lyrics to that song?
Go for it.
Because I really want to nerd out.
Yeah, I
on
wonder
that.
what else. Well, didn't you said Misty Mountain Hop was also a direct reference, right?
Misty Mountains are like a place in there
Okay.
in the Hobbit, actually. What's that song called?
Battle of Evermore. So I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings. Is Evermore part of that?
Not that I'm aware of, but it could be in the Silmarillion. I haven't read that.
Okay.
But they specifically referenced the ring wraiths, which is... Oh, hold on. That's the...
But yeah, there was a real resurgence of Tolkien and D&D and just all this sci-fi fantasy stuff in the 70s. And it got kind of closely associated with rock and roll. And so the moral panic of the 70s of like, my kids are worshiping the devil is like Led Zeppelin, D&D, Lord of the Rings. All that stuff kind of got lumped together.
Which is so silly nowadays.
It was the Beatles were into the Lord of the Rings a lot too. It didn't end up in any of their songs, but
I wonder why was there a resurgence of it in the 70s?
I don't know.
I mean, that's when the animated movies came out, but I think that's a
result of that.
Yeah, that couldn't have been why.
Yeah, I don't exactly know, but the Beatles wanted to make a Lord of the Rings movie, like animated with them or something like that.
Dude, that is crazy. Okay, so there's not a lot of lyrics here. Oh no, there are. Okay, so we have... The Queen of Light took her bow, and then she turned to go. The Prince of Peace entombed the gloom and walked the night alone. Oh, dance in the dark of night, sing to the morning light. The Dark Lord rides in force tonight, and will tell us all, and time will tell us all. Oh, throw down your plow and hoe. Rest not to lock your homes. Side by side we wait. The might of the darkest of them all. Oh, oh. And then the chorus is, I hear the horses thunder down the valley below. I'm waiting for the angels of Avalon, waiting for the eastern glow. So that is references to, I think, some of the Silmarillion stuff. But that also could be like put down your hoe and stuff could be like the reference to the hobbits and stuff. The apples of the valley hold the seeds of happiness. The ground is rich from tender care. Repay, do not forget. No, no. Dance in the dark of night. Sing to the morning light. The apples turn brown and black. The tyrant's face is red. Oh, war is the crimson cry. Pick up your swords and fly. The sky is filled with good and bad. Mortals never know. Oh.
They're cool lyrics.
It is very cool. The pain of war cannot exceed the woe of aftermath. The drums will shake the castle wall. The ring raids ride in black. Ride on, sing as you raise your bow. Ride on, shoot straighter than before. No comfort has the fire at night. That light the face so cold. Oh, dance in the dark of night, sing the morning light. The magic runes are writ with gold. To bring the balance back, bring it back. It is cool lyrics.
So just imagine you're a
kid,
hard rocking kid in the 70s.
Yeah.
And then this
rebelling.
album comes out and it's like, and you love the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see why.
I mean, I can see, yes. You said Dungeons and Dragons, and like, I can absolutely see that too, but it's just funny in context now when we know like Tolkien was a Christian and like the Catholic Church sponsors the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Like the Catholic Church, like one of the most strictest religions that there is like, go read the Lord of the Rings, go see the movies. Peter Jackson's great, all this stuff. Like the exact opposite of that, which is so funny. But we also know people just at the time, you know, it really is interesting to think about. I really enjoy those lyrics. I did not enjoy that song very much at all. You could tell when it first started. I think if there wasn't so much experimentation there and it was more simplified, I would like it way more.
I think if the song went somewhere and like...
Yeah, but even still, like I'm not saying I can't enjoy like a simple acoustic song. Like I like the idea that they had an acoustic guitar on one side doing sort of simple, it was probably sort of like low passed, simple rhythmic stuff, and then on the other side was that mandolin. It sounded like to me, though it could have been a bouzouki, but it didn't really sound like a bouzouki. Some sort of a thing like a mandolin. And that was sort of the featured instrument, but then the vocals just got too dense and weird, and all the delays and the like, and it's probably supposed to symbolize like the dark and the light and the thing and this and this and all this, and so like I assume that's, but it's like you don't need to do that, and it got too the whole thing with such a simple arrangement, it shouldn't feel like there's too much to listen to at once, and it felt very cluttered, that whole song. Okay, so now we're to Stairway to Heaven. If the
biggest song of all time,
one of the most famous songs of all time,
it's #1 rock song of all time,
and I swear to God, I've never heard.
He's never heard.
We'll see. Maybe I'll notice it. Maybe I will know the whole thing. I don't think so. I don't think so. But all right, Stairway to Heaven. Okay, that I've heard.
Okay,
this part I've heard for sure. I can't think of any lyrics that would follow this or any vocal part.
Okay.
Flute? Or was it played on? No, that sounds like a real flute. Multiple flutes. No, that could be on an organ or something.
I don't know.
I cannot tell. I'm going to say I think those are flutes. Like maybe 2 flutes. No, it's a keyboard. I can't tell. I'm sure it's very well documented.
One of the great mysteries.
Okay.
All it glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven.
That's a cool, like, turnaround.
If the stars are all closed,
I like the guitar part on the other side. It's louder than the vocals are not loud enough.
Yeah.
But that might be the remaster.
It could be.
Oftentimes in remastering, the outside stuff gets brought up in volume. The middle gets kind of drowned out.
Yeah.
buying the stairway.
But also, at this time, things were still mixed dynamically. So he's singing quietly here, and if he gets more intense than this, which I assume he will later, they wouldn't have probably been automated in such a way with even moving the fader on the console.
Yeah.
But still, it should be louder here during that part. Unless that's supposed to, like, represent you have to search through the song for the lyrics or something. Sorry.
Listening to this, like, on the radio, I never had a problem, like, understanding the lyrics or anything. So maybe it is the remaster.
Okay. That guitar part sounds amazing, though.
Yeah.
That is folky, like a folky part. And we're not going to talk the whole time, I promise. That's got to be a keyboard type thing. Were Mellotrons even a thing at the time? They had to have been. That's a keyboard in the middle there. Unless it's a bass. Oh, I think that's a bass. Nope. No,
It sounds electronic.
that's an electronic bass.
To the west, and my spirit is crying.
There, he got way louder.
In my thoughts, I have seen rings
This sounds pretty epic so far.
Oh, it is.
Like, I'm sure I'm a 8-minute song. I'm sure this goes places, but like, that was bad note in the guitar there. I wish these guys knew how to play if they're gonna try something so complicated. Look at that, was me kidding. But still, you definitely heard
I hit
something
them
messed up
for
there.
you guys.
That sounds like a synth bass note. Like could be a bass guitar with distortions of some kind.
and it's whispered that soon, if we all call the tune,
The reverb is done well on the voice.
and a new day will dawn for those who
I can't believe we're already almost 4 minutes into this song. There's no way. It feels like just one verse.
Yeah.
Electric guitar now. So far, I'm thinking, why is this the #1 song of all time? Like it's cool, but I'm like, I know enough about the song to know that it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back to having no bass in the song anymore. This is like track 1 again.
Yes, there are 2 paths you can go by, but in the long run,
The drums sound great.
there's still time to
Not a lot of low in them, but I wouldn't expect it at this time. Switch to the ride.
and it makes me wonder.
Now that sound like the bass is throwing me off because I thought I felt like a what do they call it? A fretless bass. Maybe it's been a fretless bass this whole time. Do you know?
No, I have no
Oh, okay.
idea.
I thought maybe you knew, and you're like, this
No,
idiot
no.
over here. Wait till you know. Finds out. This would sound really cool if the kick had like low to it and stuff. Like if it was a big drum beat.
Yeah,
Not saying that it's not cool now.
that's right.
I'm just.
He would never say that.
I'm just envisioning that it could be better. Bad distortion there. Terrible
Yeah,
distortion.
you're right.
Maybe that's a remaster thing, but I would doubt it.
It can't be a 24-bit thing, is it?
Shouldn't be.
We'll have to listen to that on the CD.
Yeah, we'll listen to Stairway to Heaven on the CD. If that's the case, we did bad with our files. We found a bad... Okay. The solo needs to be louder. It's the same volume as the vocals, though, which is what you should always aim for with a solo. The lead vocal. Yeah. Ooh. I have never heard this. None of this is familiar to me. Well, I'll save my thought.
It's almost over.
I know, but I want to say what I'm going to say is not going to be good. The snare drum sounds good. That's a cool beat. Like I like it. The stabs are good. Ooh. They started a retardando at the end there and really were not together. Or there was one snare hit that was bad. See, now here it would have been cool if they went back to the acoustic guitar for a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my! You mean to
So,
tell me?
what do you think?
You mean to tell me that of every song in existence, people think this is more special than most of the other stuff out there?
Come
what
on.
are you
It's
talking
great.
about? No, it's not.
It's fantastic.
Okay, okay. Seriously though, it's just a slow acoustic guitar song that builds up to being a rock song.
Have you ever heard anything like that before?
Yes,
No.
all the time, all of the metal bands that I listen to, every symphonic. Nightwish has like 10 songs like that start off with acoustic guitar. They build. There's a chorus. It comes back down a little bit. Then the drums kick in for the second verse, and then there's distorted guitars kick in for the second chorus, and then there's a big guitar solo, and then strings come in, and then there's a big, climactic third chorus, and it's over.
Well,
that stuff is way better than this. But you have to take into
you didn't
consideration the
expect
time.
The greatest rock song of all time to not have been done way better in the 50 years since.
No, but I expect the greatest rock song of all time to be the greatest rock song of all time. There had to have been better things than this that existed before this. Like, you can't tell me that someone playing acoustic guitar and then transitioning into a rock song was revolutionary. There's no way that another band hadn't done that before. Unless it would have to be like, okay, 1971. I have to think 1971.
I mean, think about what rock music was in 65. It was like...
No, you're right. And the fact that it's so long really is probably a really contributing factor, right?
Yeah, because everything before then was so single focused.
Right, and the song does take you on a journey, right? Yes. Like, now, and I will, like, a lot of music I listen to, at least, especially recently, is longer stuff. Mm-hmm. So I do listen to, like, 7+ minute songs, not regularly, like, but often enough that like to me that song didn't seem extra long or anything like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, when we were at like 350, I couldn't believe we were at the 350 mark. Like it felt like we'd only
there had to be a lot more to go.
Yes. I was very surprised that we were almost halfway through the song.
It only really builds in like the last quarter.
The last fourth, really, yeah. And it was really cool. Like I do think it's cool that it got to the dun dun part, like, you know. So I do like the song. My thing is just like, why that song to be like the greatest thing of all time?
Yeah.
And you didn't say that, and people aren't saying that, but like
that's the thing with anything labeled the greatest of all time, though.
Right.
Nothing ever, you know, if there's a graph of like quality of things and it goes up to here, the graph of like the popularity of things is like
right. Yes.
Where the stuff at the end will never ever live up to the amount of hype. It's the same thing as if we ever start reacting to Beatles stuff. It's like you're just going to be like, this is considered the greatest band of all time.
You're right. I would probably say the exact same thing. You're absolutely right.
And you're not wrong.
Right.
But it's not fair to them.
No, it's not fair to them. But the other thing is like, I understand that you have to take into consideration the time that something came out. So if you were telling me that this was the greatest song of 1971, maybe I could believe that. Mm-hmm. But for someone to sit here and look in my face and tell me that this is better than like, I could probably name 40 songs I think are better than that song.
Yeah.
Objectively better, like not even just like my own like a taste, that are like long epic songs that build, like one of my favorite style of song is a song that builds to like an epic climactic finish and then just like explodes for the ending. Like that's like my favorite.
Mine too.
My favorite style of song, right? Yes. And like my favorite band of all time, Kaiser's Orchestra, right? Like they have a whole album full of like 7 to 10 minute long songs that start small and build huge, and there's a full orchestra playing on every song. Now you might be sitting there going, "Oh, but this didn't have a full orchestra." And I'm just saying, how could someone look me in the face and say like, "Listen to this is the greatest thing ever," and I'll be like, look around me at all the other music.
This
you know,
it's true. I don't think people are saying
right that
these days. I don't think they're saying, "Oh, you like that? Well, it's no Led Zeppelin." I don't think people are saying that. I think they're saying,
look how important this song is.
This was a good song,
which it definitely is.
Hugely influential.
Yes, that I can definitely see, especially because when you said think about what music was like in the 60s, you're absolutely right. This is so far from the stuff that I know, that I mentioned earlier, the Mamas and the Papas, Tommy James and the Shondells, all that stuff. Yeah. Like you said, the single mindset, the pop mindset. Elvis Presley, right? Stuff that was like hugely popular. And then that's the thing. That's one of the things that is crazy to me. Like if this was so popular, like I think even my mom knows Stairway to Heaven, you know?
I would think so.
Like, and for reference, she doesn't know any music at all. Like I swear to God, if all music disappeared off the earth today, it would take my parents weeks to notice that there was no music in anything, in any movie, playing in any store, on the radio ever. They would not notice because they just would not notice. They don't care.
Some people are like that.
So like, okay, you're probably right. Like I have to like dial it back a little bit, but I just know there's going to be people in the comments who are like, this stupid idiot talking trash about. The same thing happened with me and One with Metallica. People are just like, how can you not like One? And I'm like, I've heard other music. So, you know, it's like, but it's different. And I understand some of it.
This is the fresh perspective you bring to things.
Well, because
it's different to listen to something when Metallica came out with it, and then everything after that and before that.
Right.
If you're a Metallica fan,
and like I said, it's how you look at it. Like you're absolutely right. Like if you said this is like yes, from 1971, this is great, but that's not the way I'm looking at it. I'm just looking at and in that light, that's really awesome. You know, but for me, just like thinking of all the music I've listened to, like it is not uncommon for me to listen to a song that starts with acoustic guitar, is slow, there's some vocals, it gradually builds, drums come in, then there's a distorted guitar comes in, it gets heavier and it builds more, and then there's like a final climactic finish.
That's a cliche these days.
That is not a special thing to me.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that the intro went on for really long and it didn't feel long. So like the songwriting was fantastic.
Yeah.
And even like by the time you get to the end with long songs like this, sometimes it's hard to even remember where you started, you know? And I personally like it when songs build to that climactic finish and then there's sort of the explosion, then it's over. And then they come back in with the intro riff a little bit and sing like the first line of the song again.
Right.
And you get that sort of like full circle moment.
That kind of happened here.
It did a little bit.
It kind of went back to like the middle of, well,
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess
the refrain, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what he did at the end.
And so like that I liked.
Yeah.
I liked the singing at the beginning was nice. Like there wasn't all these like extra vocal parts, you know, because I could see them doing this live, which I'm sure they played it thousands and thousands of times. I'm sure. And I'm sure everyone freaked out, you know, because that's what people at concerts do when you play a legendary song like that. And so I'm sure that they could reproduce that pretty faithfully live. And I'm sure that would be important to some people. But to me, that's not something that's important to me. I want people to leave it all in the studio, which is why I do respect what they did on that last track. Like he can't sing 4 vocal parts at the same time live.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I don't know how they would have done that, but this,
And I don't know what was up with that distortion. That was very clear to me too.
Yeah. So I bet that, I don't know.
There's no way that that's just like they missed that in the remastering.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
'Cause that, like,
hopefully this whole thing isn't like screwed up. We should have listened to the other files.
I mean, it sounded fine to me so far.
It sounded like you would have expected it to sound like for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we should do a comparison.
Oh, we definitely will. We definitely will. Okay, well there you go. There's my take on Stairway to Heaven, and I'm not being like a character or something. Like that's honestly what I think.
It's there is no song from 1971 that I can show you and you would be like, this is amazing. This is something I've never heard before, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's true. Like, for example, let me just throw something out at you, and maybe this is like late 70s, I think. So maybe there's a huge difference. But like when I think of like Fleetwood Mac, right? I think of like you release a Fleetwood Mac song today, it would sound just as good.
Okay.
Like and also when I think of a lot of disco stuff, which again, I know that's like 70s.
Yeah.
But like ABBA, the Swedish, and I know that like the Swedish like production that they did for ABBA and on all those bands from Sweden, they were known for being like the height of clarity, the height of music production at the time.
Okay.
And so like I don't know, like is that 6 or 7 years away from this?
Yeah.
And I know from what people have
like
said,
ABBA was like 77.
and I know from what people have said to me in the Metallica videos, I can imagine them saying this here, but that's a different style of music, right? That's not rock music.
Right.
But to that, I would say, why can't rock music be produced as well as the best produced other genres of music?
Right, yeah. I don't think they're like intentionally making this like underproduced or like
No, I don't think so either.
I don't know.
But I understand the idea of like the
technology
technology at the time maybe wouldn't allow you to do certain things or whatever. So like I understand those things. But the elements in that song, there was nothing special to the elements in that song if you just looked at each of them individually, right?
Sure.
You can put a microphone at any time, you can put a microphone in front of a guitar and get the way it sounds. And then just a matter of mixing it all together and stuff. And the acoustic guitars sounded great. I thought the whole time, and they should, because acoustic guitar has been like was the first instrument ever recorded when they went up into the hills and recorded Ma Carter playing the acoustic guitar.
When they invented tape, they made sure acoustic guitar sounded good, I'm sure.
I'm sure as good as they could make it at the time, you know, with 12 people gathered around one little microphone, you know, singing "You Are My Sunshine."
Right.
So like, right. So I don't know. Okay.
Moving on.
Misty Mountain Hop, which is really interesting. Hop. Now I will say country music in the 70s sounded great, right? I'm thinking of like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, right?
Yeah.
What about those 60s psychedelic? What about those albums right in that crate that are like 60s psychedelic rock albums?
Well, those probably sound like crap.
Do you think?
Maybe. I would think. The psychedelic stuff, I would think like Nitty Gritty Dirt Band probably sounds pretty good.
It sounds fantastic.
I think the country stuff, I think probably the rock musicians were like, we need to sound grittier. We can't just sound like we're playing a country song up here.
Right. Which I will say during the 70s, from what I know, like there was a big, like, country rock was a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, and the idea that you could play country sounding stuff in a rock song. Like, I don't think of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band as a country band.
Right. Me neither.
I think of them as like a bluegrassy country rock band, right?
Yeah.
But then I also think of like America, the Eagles, stuff like that.
Leonard
Skinner. And I don't know much of that stuff very well. I just know the
He
singles.
doesn't know Freebird.
I don't know. I've never heard Freebird.
But I would never show you Freebird now.
Does it sound better than this though?
No, but it's another long building song.
Well, no, right.
I don't know if it sounds better or not. I couldn't tell you that.
Well, I mean, Sweet Home Alabama sounds fantastic. What year was that?
Late 70s.
Okay, so we are talking. All the stuff I'm bringing up is like a decade or close to that later.
I'd be curious if one of my favorite Led Zeppelin albums is, maybe my favorite one is Presence, which is their second to last, which is like 78.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I would be curious to see what you think about that one.
And I need to think too, like, I don't know very much Black Sabbath at all, but like to me, Iron Man would sound better than this.
Black Sabbath was definitely like grungier, I think.
Yeah.
Not like grunge, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like
well, they're the first
dirtier
like doom
sounding.
band, but
Yeah.
and that's different. You're right. But the thing is, like,
Well, I think those two bands kind of get tied together a lot. I think because of the same people were listening to them at the time.
Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath.
Yeah,
you mean?
these kind of what we would
But
call.
they're considered different bands and stuff. Like they're considered different styles.
Yeah,
of,
it's
of
different
approach
for sure.
Like to me, when I think of Immigrant Song, just the little samples I've heard of it in movies, like it sounds way higher fidelity quality than this. But maybe I'm just
Interesting.
listening to like a crazy, like refixed version for movies.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay, sorry. We'll move on.
Moving on.
Hopefully someone finds this entertaining. Okay, Misty Mountain Hop. Oh, and the reason I brought all that up was because like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, they have all these songs that are called like the Wabash Rag and the
Yeah.
Cannonball Hop and those types of
Yeah,
things.
I don't think that's what this is going for, but I don't know.
But what else could they mean by hop?
Is Misty Mountain Hop like our Lord of the Rings thing?
Not the hop part. The Misty Mountain is. Unless it's like they're talking about some famous bunny rabbit or something. Beorn could turn into any animal I think he wanted. So maybe in this version of the song,
Maybe all
Beorn
the
turns
hobbits
into...
go to like the Misty Mountain.
Or
Hop
Tom
something.
Bombadil. I'm sure there's some Tom Bombadil references on this album somewhere, right? So, okay, Misty
We'll see.
Mountain Hop.
Oh, here's your keyboard. right?
Yes, yeah, that's like a Wurlitzer type thing.
This wasn't
Okay,
it,
this is
too.
room microphone sounding. So you can hit, this is overheads
Okay.
from farther away. 3-part vocal harmony. My God, how can you sing that high? It's cool to have the like Wurlitzer on one side and the guitar on the other side balancing each other.
Yeah.
God, it just kills me when stuff is not lined up. Like, if you're gonna overdub yourself and have things going at the same time, they should all line up together properly.
Isn't
it
it?
just kills me.
You don't think it's intentional?
No, it feels like they were mistimed. Just one moment I heard there. Mostly everything is great. But that's what I've spent literally countless hours doing, is lining things up.
Right.
And they didn't have that technology
Well,
at
they
this
just
point
had to
at
push
all.
play at the right time.
Yeah, they had no technology like that could do that at all. The vocals are a lot more present here.
Yeah.
And the drums are so far away, but I kind of like it. Is that Jimmy Page doing the back, or Robert Plant doing the background vocals? Don't know. Could be more. It could be a couple guys, or it could just be him doing them. Was there a guitar solo in Stairway to Heaven?
Yeah, towards the end, I think.
I don't remember it. I'm getting them kind of running together.
Yeah.
So that was cool. There's a guitar harmony part there. That was nice. I'm kind of surprised at the amount of overdubs they were able to do.
Yeah.
What was that? Whoa, the bass came in all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What was it doing before this? There's cool things happening.
Yeah.
This probably not going to be a popular opinion, but I think that was my favorite song on the album.
Really?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I think
that was a hit. It's a well-known song. I think people like it.
I liked that one. I liked the vocals a lot.
Yeah.
I like the clear, like, okay, there's a lead vocal part and then there's the background vocal part, which I thought was really nice. The harmonies were tight. You know, there was that one moment where I was like, oh my, please just have your transients line up.
Yeah.
But again, I understand, like, you couldn't fix that kind of stuff at the time. And probably I would also say, like, the idea of having things feel loose was appealing to them.
It's not very rock and roll to get it exactly right.
Right. You know, absolutely. And it's not all right. That's for sure. But that's fine. Like, none of it was egregiously bad.
Yeah.
And that's just something that probably bothers, like, it triggers me more than most people because I have spent, like I said, countless hours lining things up that were improperly timed to make them sound good. So I mean, you know, and so there's maybe that's just like a personal thing.
Yeah. To me, the vocals, I don't like that song.
You don't like that song?
I don't like the why don't you take a look at like that monotonous. Part.
It's not very
that grates on me.
Okay, but the whole mix is very like sharp. It's very attacky. It's very angular. You know, like to me, blues rock should be rounded. It should be warm feeling.
Yeah.
It should be mid-range, heavy low, heavy mid-range, right? Okay. And this is like the exact opposite of that. This is like all the frequencies we would take out of a full range mix, like but boosted here. And that's kind of just, you know, what they're doing. And so, but you know, again, the time, like I'm not taking that away from this.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that song sounded okay. The drums were recorded from much further away in that song. You could tell the entire time. You could hear the room that they were recording it in. It wasn't close mic'd. It was I assume just two microphones further away, you know, and that's a very common thing to do nowadays on stuff. You can get some really cool sounds like that, but usually you mix into the sound a little bit of the like close mic sound as well. Yeah. And I didn't hear very much of that. That was just like far away sounding drums. And that is this sort of drum sound that I was thinking that I would hear on what you were thinking might be Kashmir and that I thought was when the levee breaks.
Still yet to find out.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
So that was Misty Mountain Hop. Now we're to Four Sticks, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Four Sticks. Don't know what that could be a reference to. But we'll see, I guess. In 3, 2, 1. Bass is right there, right from the beginning. Guitar, it sounds like also in the middle, unless the bass has distortion on it. No, there's a guitar in the middle. Also, I hear some like stick stuff in there. And is that someone hitting something, or it could be like a shaker? Sounds like they're hitting something with a brush, hi-hat with a brush. But that's an overdub, I'm guessing, because everything else would be require two hands. Okay, sorry. Gosh, I'm impressed with the amount of things in each of these songs.
Yeah.
called 4 sticks because there's 2 tracks of drums, and each drum, the drummer has 2 sticks.
Really?
There's no way it can't not be that. Right? Because he's going, and then the other hand is going, right?
There is a lot of drums going on.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is. Unless he's got 1 stick in each foot. Playing with his feet in his hands.
I don't know, John Bonham's pretty talented.
Some of the vocals do get lost, volume-wise.
I was just going to say, I'm kind of losing him here. I can't understand what he's saying anyway.
Like I said, that could be the master. Because when you remaster things, the stuff on the sides tends to get pushed up more, and that can sometimes bury the stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
So I wonder, it sounds like the electric guitar is gone now and there's acoustic guitar there. Does he have is he switching? I mean, when they're recording this in the studio, it doesn't matter, but I wonder.
Is that just a synthesizer?
Sounds like guitar.
Oh.
It's kind of the way the guitars sounded on the first track.
They weren't as buzzy.
No, they weren't. Maybe it's a synth, I guess. Maybe. It sounds like it's running. It's interesting.
I don't know.
His vocals are just not anything that appeals to me at all.
Right.
I kind of just wish he'd shut up and let me listen to the good stuff. But I fully recognize that as a taste thing. It's that's me. That's not a negative to them or anything at all. That's just me saying I don't like it the way he sings at all.
I much prefer it like in Stairway, where he sings a little more normal and then he builds up to screaming like that.
Oh, yeah.
It feels way more impactful.
Yeah, I know I was Misty Mountain, I like that song a lot, but yeah, I forgot about Stairway. Stairway to Heaven is definitely the best song on the album so far.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, no, it definitely is, yeah. I liked Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
It's just the idea that it's better than a lot of other stuff is not true.
Yeah.
I don't know if we put the last song on there. Okay, so that one, I'm talking a little bit more during the songs I know, and I think that's just because, that song, once it started, it was the exact same the whole time.
Yeah, and I don't really care for their songs like that. Like that one, I mean, Misty Mountain Op's kind of like that, but what was it? Either Black Dog and
well, the Battle of Evermore, or the Battle of Evermore was the same thing the whole time, just the acoustic guitar and that mandolin thing.
That's the one I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's got to be called 4 sticks because there were 4 drumsticks playing stuff throughout that song, right? I mean, it's got to be.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty drum forward, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was more percussive elements going on there than just a drummer using 2 drumsticks performing it. So just the idea that they would call the song that, or maybe at the time even there was no song had ever recorded 2 takes of drums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt that's the case, but really it wasn't 2 tracks of drums. It was a lot of auxiliary percussion, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It was cool. I wish that it would have been for a portion of the song and then maybe a real drum kit would have come in for a little while and then they go back to that or something. But because they chose to keep it the same the whole time, there wasn't the moments, there was the 2 moments during the song where the acoustic guitar came in and kind of replaced the electric guitar. And then the second time that happened, the acoustic guitar just stayed in for the rest of the song. So they did do things to switch it up a little bit there. But the vocals weren't interesting at all. I mean, they were very yuck in that song, in my opinion. And there were moments where they were really too low, way low, like we said. The guitar was interesting when it was in the electric guitar. And then the switch over to the acoustic guitar was done really well. And it made you think okay, here's a different section of the song. Yeah. Which is nice because it's hard to do that when you have the same percussive elements just going the whole song, which they were. So yeah, that definitely wasn't my favorite song on the album. Okay, Going to California. This is another short one. We'll see if it's I wonder if it's a fast one then. I hope it's another fast one, especially coming after that sort of meandering thing we just had. So this is Going to California, which I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but here we go.
Well, they're British, so.
Oh, no? Okay. So that's an acoustic guitar with room reverb on it. Piano. That mandolin's back.
I much prefer vocals that sound like this from him.
Well, this sounds like... I mean, this just straight up sounds like... Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, like that sort of like those country rock bands.
Yeah.
I heard some distortion there again. I'm a sucker for like bluegrassy stuff too, so...
Yeah.
With love in her eyes and flowers in her hair.
Ooh, that's a cool chord. There's more music theory-ish stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, that's nice. That's cool.
Took my chances on a big jet plane.
His vocals are distorting in the left channel.
All the same.
Or is that just my headphone?
Oh, the sea was red and the sky was blue.
No, it's in there.
Wondered how tomorrow could ever follow today.
Right? Like, that's bad.
It's the instrument that's distorting, right?
No, it's only when his voice gets loud, though, which would tell me that it's the stereo mix as a whole.
Children of the sun begin.
I really hope we're not... If we listen to the
screwed
CD and it just
ourselves.
sounds like fantastic, we'll redo this. No, we won't redo it, but
We'll have an addendum.
I'll take out that music for the good music, and then they'll think we knew what we were talking about. Okay, sorry, I'm sure this is a part I'm supposed to pay attention to. He went into a cave to sing for a while.
Throw me a line if I reach it in time. Meet you up there at the path runs straight.
I do like how they use reverb.
I like
The
it too.
vocals a lot.
Here I like it, yes. And again, I will say, like, I appreciate the fact that everything is panned the way where that it is, and that it's balanced and everything. That's great.
They say she plays guitar and cries and sings.
The thing is, though, if you go listen to the most amateur, like, bluegrass recording of all time, it sounds better than this
Right.
because it's modern.
Yeah.
Not saying the song would be as well written or performed, but
Standing on the hill.
this does sound good, except for whatever's distorting on the left side there.
Hard as it seems.
We'll just have to listen to the vinyl version. It's definitive version.
This is probably a direct rip from vinyl, but they just up-resed it
someone
to
just-
24.
Someone just like mislabeled it. They did
You
their
can
own
never
remaster.
up-res audio, okay? It's impossible. You can't up-res audio. If you have multi-tracks and you're combining multi-tracks together, then you might benefit from using a higher bitrate and resolution and stuff. But if you're just taking a stereo track and remastering it, it won't sound better. That's tough. I almost wouldn't count that as a fade
As a
out.
fade out because they changed it right at the end.
Just a little bit, but that is definitely a fade out.
They just disguised the fade out.
Yeah, that's a fade out. But that's probably my second favorite track on the album,
Yeah?
I'd say. Maybe.
After Stairway?
No. I would say Stairway, and then Misty Mountain Hop, and then that song, Going to California. I did like that.
Yeah.
I like... There was a weird thing with the mix there, so I'm hoping if we listen to the CD and it sounds better, then we're just really dumb and we found bad files to listen to. If that's the case, I'm so sorry.
So we need to listen to Going to California and Stairway.
Yeah, and but if that's the way that the album was supposed to sound, then it was bad.
Yeah.
Okay, When the Levee Breaks. We don't need to talk about that last one anymore.
I think you will like this one. I think it'll be in.
I'm really curious
It'll
to
be
see
towards the
if
top
there's
of-
parts of this I remember or that I know.
Oh, yeah, I guess you might know
If
this.
there's parts of this I know.
Yeah? Okay. Some good harmonica in this.
I've definitely heard that guitar, that drum sample in something.
Yeah.
Now I don't recognize the song anymore.
Oh,
Just the drums.
I love whenever they start pulling harmonica into their songs. And I usually
This is the first time we've heard it, right?
Yeah. It's not that often, but I think Robert Plant does the harmonica.
So again, the drums sound like they were recorded from much further away. The microphones are further away, like they were on whichever song I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Misty Mountain Hop,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
Hopefully, in contrast to that, the vocals are really close.
Let's see.
Do not tell me that this is an instrumental song.
No, that's not.
You know, pull a Metallica with a 7-minute long instrumental song at the end of the album. Okay, here we go.
Keeps on raining, Levee's gone.
Totally different vocals.
Yeah.
If it keeps on raining,
Way better.
This one sounds more like a modern song to me.
Maybe they put more effort into this one.
Maybe.
There's no way they put more effort into this than Stairway to Heaven, though.
No. They knew that was going to be the vocal.
Yeah. There's definitely distortion on his vocals, though,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Like, I think a lot of the stuff you listen to is inspired by songs like this.
Yes, very
Like
much
The
so.
Heavy or something like that.
Oh my God,
Right?
so much so, yes. Yes. But also Black Keys,
Yeah.
you know, any of that kind of stuff. Some really interesting, like, flangey phaser stuff going on that guitar. Delay on it as well. Slide guitar, electric slide guitar, which is very cool, very bluesy. I thought he said a bad word and then he added the Chicago on it. I was like, whoa, no wonder people love this. It's so metal. It's the most metal thing in the world. Whoa, that was cool. Whew. Harmonica back. If you like stuff like this, you need to check out a band called Harpoon and the Harpoonist and the Axe Murderer, just called Harp Axe for short. Really cool band.
Yeah.
I haven't looked them up for a few years. They may have a newer album. I need to look that up. But it's Harp Axe for harp and axe, which is another word for guitar.
Oh.
But the actual
Harp
name
Axe.
is Harpoonist and the Axe Murderer, I think is what it is.
I've never heard harpbacks.
Yeah, Harp Axe.
Guitar.
No, axe is a
Right.
guitar.
Oh, just the okay.
The word axe,
Okay.
yeah. You've heard that. Because you can swing it like an axe.
Yeah, I understand that.
I like the distortion on the vocals. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was probably very influential. More so than anything I heard on Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
In terms of just like from what I recognize.
Sure.
I do love the way the drums sound, but it is a little repetitive.
So this is the song you were thinking of?
No.
Oh. So it must have been Kashmir. Okay.
The drums. Sorry. I don't like this guitar thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Also, why is it changing where it's at and then... So he wanted to go to California last song,
And then Chicago.
and now back to Chicago, or what? Whoa, mono. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's weird,
Do some
but I'm
weird
okay
stuff
with
at
it.
the end of the song.
What if instead of fading out, they faded up or down?
It just got louder and louder until the record ended.
I love it, yeah. I'm disappointed in this
Yeah.
because there's no like chorus that you can sing along with. There's no, but that's not what they were going for, and that's fine. But for being like one of the song I was like looking forward to the most,
Yeah.
I would say even more so than Stairway to Heaven. This is just the same thing the whole time for 7 minutes, with like long guitar notes over it. Like there wasn't even like a flashy guitar solo or something to like remember in that song.
Yeah, you're right. Cool ending though.
It is a cool ending.
Yeah. Is that at least up there? Do you think it was like one of the better ones at least?
Yes, I would say so. Now that we've heard the whole album, I will definitely say Stairway to Heaven, favorite song. Then I would say Misty Mountain Hop. No, you know what? I'm going to change my thought here. Now that I know what we were working with the whole time,
Sure.
it definitely makes me appreciate Black Dog more. Because I think Black Dog at least had parts that you could like sing along with. Rock and Roll maybe is probably my second favorite song. So probably Stairway to Heaven, Rock and Roll, Going to California, Misty Mountain Hop, Black Dog, When the Levee Breaks.
You're leaving When the Levee Breaks down there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about When the
Battle of Evermore and 4 Sticks.
Well, it was the same kind of song. It was the same thing over and over.
Sure.
No, I do think When the Levee Breaks. No, I don't think. I think Black Dog was a better song.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people would agree with you. I don't think that's considered When the Levee Breaks is like,
Yeah.
it's not held in the reverence.
The only
as
thing is
Stairway
like
to
that drum beat is like iconic to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what hip hop song or what song sampled that or whatever, but like that's awesome. Especially the way the snare drum sounds when they hit it the second time. There's like a little delay on the snare. It's because it's or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But there's like it's really cool. I understand that. So yeah. Let's go check out that other while we're thinking about it. Let's go check out.
Oh, another version we got?
Yeah, the other version we got.
So, which one? Going to California was...
I'm just going to load them in and we'll go
labeled?
back and forth. So let's go to California is track 7.
Yeah.
So here's what we just heard. This is the version we just listened to.
Do you remember?
Okay?
Okay.
Took my chances on a big jet plane. Never let 'em tell you that we're all the same.
I'm still hearing
The distortion's still there, but
Yeah.
the vocals are louder.
Was this also a... Or no, this is the one you ripped.
Yes, this is the one I ripped from this CD exactly.
So I guess that's just on the recording.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, can you remove that in a remaster? So that's just what they had to work with, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the AI would be for. Like,
Yeah, right.
You'd have to do it in a way that you couldn't.
Interesting.
Okay, so Stairway to Heaven. This is the one we heard already.
Yeah. And it took a while to get distorted, right? Didn't it?
Well, no, it wasn't distorting, or was this the song that was?
It did it some...
I don't think that we were complaining about that with this one. That was a different song.
I think it was this one.
So this is the version we listened to.
Yeah. No, it was this one because this is the first time we heard distortion. Because I brought it up after we talked about it for 20 minutes.
So that's at about the 5-minute mark.
Okay.
So let's go to the...
I mean, it's not sounded that much different to me.
It doesn't sound much different at all. It shouldn't.
Right.
The only difference is the volume, really.
Yeah.
Though this is
Yeah. There's the distortion again. So
we should go put the record on and listen to it seriously, like to see,
Yeah.
because that's bad.
yeah, I mean that's a
Like
shame.
that's literally bad. Like that's someone messed up bad. It's some of that.
Obvious.
Some of it's not that egregiously bad, you know.
Yeah.
But some of that is like,
like
boy, that's really disappointing.
okay. Can you get you can get that distortion working with tape?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's not just like
yeah, tape distortion.
Okay, well I don't know what tape distortion sounds like versus like digital distortion.
Tape distortion is just when you push the volume so high.
Okay.
There's so much happening.
You go into the red.
You just it just peaks. So, okay, well,
Maybe we will put on the record after we're done here.
yeah, we will probably and just see. So in that, but okay, let's remove from that. So I will say
The album as a whole.
the album as a whole was very disappointing to me.
Yeah.
I think that it sounded as thin as soup the entire time. There was no mid-range frequencies the entire album, and the bass was only noticeable in certain songs, track 2 specifically.
Right, as you pointed out every time.
Right.
It's like,
Now,
oh, there's the bass.
Right, and it's probably because of the key that they were playing the songs in, and when my modern ear, which tells me that the song should have bass the entire song the entire time, right? There should be low end in every song consistently, otherwise it sounds weird. Okay, but also, again, like I've said a million times, you have to take into consideration the time when this was made, because
Just the style of music, there was nothing like it at the time.
you
I
don't
would
think
say.
so?
Like Black Sabbath was coming out around the time, but I would say they were revolutionary as well.
Yeah, but this is way less Black Sabbath and
Yeah.
more, like we were saying already, more like country rock. There were more songs on this album that had acoustic guitar as the lead instrument than electric
Right.
guitar. I know there was more electric guitar overall.
But when I hear that, I hear like a Celtic or folk influence, not like country influence.
No, see, that's not what I hear at all.
Really?
Yeah, but that's me. That's me.
Okay.
But like I do listen to Celtic metal bands and stuff.
Right.
And they have all sorts of weird things. Like,
Yeah.
but
I mean, maybe that's taken on a different meaning than I'm using it as, but
well, I mean, certainly your opinion is valid as just as much as mine, if not more, because you're more familiar with it. But to me, no, that didn't feel Celtic-y at all.
okay.
It just felt acoustic, and like to me, I could see like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. That's just my only example because like I'm familiar with that. And again, like, hey Google, when did the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band Uncle Charlie come out?
The release date of Uncle Charlie was February 1st, 1970.
Predates.
Yeah.
Let's look up a song from that. And again, I understand that it's a different style of music. My only question is, I'm anticipating clicking play and having it blow our minds quality-wise compared to an album that came out a year later.
Sure.
Now, maybe Nitty Gritty Dirt Band was made for $1 million, and this album was made for...
No, I don't think so. This was like the #1 band when they made this album.
Yeah.
Or
So-
this may have put them on the map, but well, not on the map.
No, because they had songs before that we even...
Right. They had huge hits before then. This was their biggest album, though.
Unless
Oh,
they
wait,
have...
wasn't it down here?
Yes, there we go.
2002. Okay.
So 1970 is when this album was originally released.
Yeah.
Let's find a good song that's... Well, let's listen to their big song.
So they have the Clinch Mountain, the back step, which is pretty close to Misty Mountain Hop.
There's how acoustic guitars are supposed to sound. There's how a hi-hat sounds. There's a kick drum. Now, again, I understand it's a different genre of music.
Right.
But why couldn't this sound as good as this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can say it was because they didn't.
There's a
have the
bass
technology.
guitar.
Right. I have to imagine. I mean, this was, I guess, their vision.
And they did
Exactly
it
what they
themselves. You know, this was probably
Yeah.
produced by the best people of the time.
Yeah, I don't know how Jimmy Page is considered as a producer. Obviously, he's considered a great guitarist, but
And you know, I know how this album was recorded. There was 2 microphones in a room, and they stood around a circle and recorded it that way.
yeah.
that could be released today. And again, I understand it's completely different.
Right, but you're saying they had the technology at the time to make the sound as clear as they wanted.
And if they were the biggest band in the world at the time, and they were like the only thing I can see is like the fact that does sound so bad, because to me that legitimately does sound bad, especially after hearing that, which I know it's not a fair comparison. Like, I get it. But the thing is, we were listening to what I found online to be the best version of that song, you know, and that was just, we were just now listening to a 192 kilobit MP3 off of Spotify, which the MP3s and the kilobits and stuff isn't going to make a big difference there. But like, I found the definitive, according to fans of Led Zeppelin, the 24-bit remaster is the 2014 24-bit remaster is like the definitive digital version. And do not come at me saying that the vinyl would sound so much better, because it's not going to. We'll listen to it a little bit maybe when we're done with this just to see.
No, as far as I could tell, the 2014 remaster was highly regarded.
Yeah.
As like they made
justice.
it as best as it could sound.
Yeah. And
which
so
maybe they did.
Right. And so now I have to say, and I should have said this at the beginning to like let people know, like, to me personally, the way something sounds is far more important than the message or meaning of any song. Like, now maybe that's me. It's me coming from the production angle of things, understanding how things sound the way they sound, what it's like to mix an album. And do not think that I'm saying that I could mix an album better than that. Although honestly, I know for a fact I could mix something that sounds better than that.
But don't think I'm saying it.
I couldn't in 1971 with the technology,
right?
But could I make something nowadays that sounds better than that? Yes, and that's fine. But could I make something that sounds better nowadays than that Nitty Gritty Dirt Band that came out a year before that? No, that to me was as good as that could possibly sound. Again, I know that's not a fair comparison, but
no, I understand what you're saying though. Is your point is we cannot blame the technology at the time?
No. Right. And what I was getting at though was like, to me, it's far more important what a song sounds like than what is being played. And I understand that is not how most people listen to music. Like, I fully understand that. So
I understand that for lyrics, like, because I don't care about songs' lyrics,
right,
and I know you don't really,
and I definitely don't. No.
But like, the song is, no matter how it's recorded, it could be at the back of the stage of live recording. If it's a good song, I'm gonna like it. But that's not you.
I've said a million times I would rather listen to a poorly written, well-produced song than the greatest, most well-written song in the world that was produced poorly. And that's me. I get it. So
that's how you want to live your life. Doesn't sound very fun to me.
No, it's great. I can appreciate so many things that other people laugh at or think are stupid.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess if you see it from that way.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't, and that's fine.
It does explain why you like such a wide variety of things.
Yeah, for sure.
So would you say the genres you like are ones that focus on the production then?
No. No, because I like metal music a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of metal music, it doesn't sound very good. However, all the metal music that I like is the stuff that does sound good. You know?
But doesn't your love of that genre kind of
No.
mean that you do care about what the songs sound like versus...
I do care about what the songs... Oh, you mean like if the same song was done by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band or Metallica, which one would I like better?
Say they're both recorded perfectly. I mean, you like metal music because it's metal music, not because all metal music sounds great and is produced well.
No, yeah, for sure, yeah.
So,
no, I know you just gave. That was a theoretical question that I don't know how to answer.
There's something there that you enjoy music for music.
Oh no, and there is music that I like that doesn't fit within that box.
Yeah.
So like, of course, there's exceptions to every rule, and also there is like, I tend to really appreciate music that is like instantly gratifying. Right?
Yeah.
So like, I listen to something, it's got a cool drum beat, I love it. It's cool. It's got great synths, cool, right? Mm-hmm. But if you show me just a guy playing an acoustic guitar and singing, to me, on first glance, that is boring. And I don't want to see that, because I can write a song with an acoustic guitar and singing, you know? Right. Those two elements don't make anything special. Mm-hmm. And what I'm listening for is something that makes the song special because of the way it sounds. But now, at the same time, like, after hearing a song multiple times, I can absolutely appreciate that. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, the first thing I listen to is the production.
Yeah.
The first thing. Then, and if an album sounds bad, I feel like I don't need to waste my time with it.
Sure.
There are so many other albums out there that I've already listened to and that I'm looking forward to discovering because they're new that are going to sound great.
So that is true. But in the case of this and a lot of older stuff,
Time restriction. Yep.
no, I'm not even saying that. I think it is worth your time because now you know.
That's
now you
true.
know Led Zeppelin and you can speak intelligently about them.
Oh, 100%.
And you know what people are talking about.
Right. And that's why I didn't want to say that I've wasted my time doing this.
Yes.
My point was going to be like, now I've heard it. I don't feel the need to listen to it again.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Now, people might say online, and what I'm learning about Metallica, which is something that has kind of shattered the way I think about music a little bit, is the essential elements of Metallica is guitar, bass, drums, vocals. And that is it. That is what Metallica is, right?
Yeah.
So when Metallica performs live, they perform with the elements of guitar, bass, drums, vocals, which means for Metallica, a live recording is much more easily comparable to a studio recording.
Sure.
Because the early studio Metallica albums, in my opinion, because of the time that they were recorded, like if Metallica's first 4 albums were recorded in the 70s and sounded like this, I would like them more than the way they sound. Because there is way too much reverb and stuff and effects all over Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, and Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Okay.
And so, like, because of that, it's really hard for me to enjoy the way it sounds. Because I do not think that distorted electric guitars should ever have, distorted electric rhythm guitars should ever be, like, drenched in reverb.
Yeah.
And I do not want to hear vocals that sound like they were recorded in a cave 2 miles away. I don't want to. And we were just watching that documentary where they were like, my old college professor was like, in the 80s, they discovered that you could put effects on every track.
Right.
And they did that. They put effects on every track. And to me, I don't think that sounds good.
Yeah.
So like, to me, the way that this was produced, the negatives are bad because I feel like it could have sounded so much better.
Sure.
But when I think about something like Metallica, right, like their first album to me sounds better sonically than this, but I would almost like it better if it sounded more like this because there would be less of the elements on it that I don't care for. So
Okay.
that's thinking about the songwriting more so than the
Sure.
production in that regard.
Yeah.
But so that's interesting. But I don't know. It's just a matter of like I said, going back to this, I don't necessarily like. Oh, my point was going to be live recordings, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that some of the definitive recordings of some of the early Metallica stuff is live recordings. And the thing is, to me, I can now understand that more.
Because they don't have the effects on them.
No, well, they don't have the effects on them because that's not how you really mix live recordings.
Yeah.
But also, like, they can play that song from 20 years earlier, 20 years later, with better technology, recorded it live, and it can sound better. And if you're a good band that can perform the song live really well, which Metallica would be, that could be a better sounding version of the song, even though it is live, which is something in my head I never would have said, that a live recording should never sound better than a studio recording ever, in my opinion. But now that I'm thinking of it technology-wise, so like if Led Zeppelin recorded a live version of this album
Right.
in like 1985...
Yeah.
10 years after or 15 years after this, and they had better technology, and maybe it would be a cooler version. So in that case, maybe I would learn to appreciate the songs in a different way. But what I'm saying is, because this album sounds the way that it does, I'm not impressed with it. Now
That's valid.
right. And so like, is the songwriting really great? I guess. But if I take it into considering, if I consider the time that it was made, yes. I think the long songs I can see how a 7-minute song that builds like that would have been like earth shattering to people who
I don't think you'll find anything. I know you'd be like, okay, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, they were doing acoustic, whatever. But like, that's not like this.
No.
No. I don't think was anything like this.
No. And the whole thing with the Nitty Gritty Band was just like, imagine if this sounded as good as that.
Yeah.
That was my whole
technically, yes.
That was just to prove that this sounds bad,
Right.
with the technology that existed at the time. But you're right. Like the idea, like I can see how a 7-minute song that built like that to a rock song was like mind breaking to
Set the
people.
world on fire.
Yeah, I can see that. But if you take that away, and you just show someone who's never heard that song ever, and someone who's never heard like what I would consider to be like a better song, like I don't know, whatever, just like any ballad from like a big metal band that did like a slow ballad that built,
Yeah.
you know, and you showed, no one would pick that as a better song. No one would.
I mean, I prefer this to like where metal went, or like where heavy rock
I could
went.
I could see that for sure.
Like you compare this to like Guns N' Roses or something.
Right.
I prefer Stairway to Heaven to Knocking on Heaven's Door or whatever. Whatever long ballad you choose from them. Yeah, I mean, so much stuff has been done since then that I'm sure I can find something that I like more. But
Yeah.
to me, this is still very listenable. And
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. That song, it just, overall, it did not sound good to me. Like, it just,
Yeah. I mean, the things you pointed out, I get it. I see what you're saying.
I mean, and I can go way more into detail on this,
Yeah.
why I don't think it sounded as good as it did, but that's fine. But like, the thing to me is like, it's almost like not fair that that's like regarded as high as it is. Like, to me, I feel like I could find other things that are way more newer, yes, so they had advantage, more technology and stuff that would have cost significantly less,
Yeah.
that deserves a fraction of the recognition that gets.
I don't think anyone is. I think I said this earlier, but I don't think anyone is saying that.
Right, that
I don't
it's
think
the
anyone's
greatest thing
gonna like.
ever.
Nobody's looking at the heavy and being like, well, they're okay, but they're no Led Zeppelin. I don't think they're saying that.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's just when people like I don't know. It's like we were saying earlier with the Rolling Stones Top 100. Like, how could anybody look at a Bob Dylan song where it's just one dude with a guitar,
Right.
probably a live performance too, and you could say that that's better than like some James Bond theme song that has 200 musicians playing on it.
There's more to music than just the
Technicality, I understand it.
to other people.
I understand it, but at a certain point, it is just a mathematical equation.
No, it's not.
And yes, it is.
It's a feeling.
If you zoom out on the timeline of history and look down on all music ever,
Yeah.
there's no way you would send an alien, Bob Dylan, to say this is what music can be.
They may have sent an alien Bob Dylan on,
I'm sure they
that
did.
space record.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. But like, I guess, I don't know.
It's because
See, if you know what I'm
was
saying.
important. The lyrics were
I'm not
important.
saying it's not important.
No, but like,
if you could only
politically
pick
important.
one song to send to the alien race, and someone's going to send an acoustic guitar and a dude singing, you have not even scratched the surface of what is possible with sound. It's one
Right.
instrument and a dude singing. I don't
it's-
care if he's singing about war or whatever deep meaning he's singing about.
That's the problem.
I-
You don't care about that.
Right, but some people have to think like me too, or you get albums that sound like this.
Yeah.
If you don't care about what your album sounds like, you have 25 Bob Dylan albums that are acoustic guitar and Bob Dylan singing. And I should point out, I don't know a single Bob Dylan song. The only Bob Dylan song I know is from the Watchmen movie, and it is a really badass song at the beginning of that song.
Bob Dylan switched to electric at some point, and his fans revolted
Yeah,
in the 60s.
I'm sure.
And he was like, screw you. And they just had a band the whole time.
Well, that's awesome. Bob Dylan's great. He's my favorite artist.
Yeah,
but
he's
still,
greatest of all
I
time.
understand. And I'm being somewhat like
You're being a little facetious.
and like, yes, and like contradictory or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Yeah.
You like what you like, and you don't
Yeah.
like what you don't like. And I think people that watch your videos know that you're here to critique the production of things.
Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will not like this video.
It'll be
That's
interesting.
Fine.
Well, yeah. But
I don't care.
it'll
That's
be
fine.
crazy if this one gets a lot of views and everyone's hating on you.
I would
It'll be
love that.
hilarious.
But I don't think we'll.
I'll be curious if anyone shows up and is like, no, you should listen to Presence or In Through the Outdoors, their last couple albums,
Yeah.
because they really changed their production and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do or not. I don't hear, my ear is not tuned to that, even though I've heard those albums.
Let's listen to Immigrant Song real quick.
Okay.
And let's just see if it sounds like noticeably better.
Because that was on
The album before
Led
this one.
Zeppelin 3.
Yes.
And I think that album was maybe not as well received at the time. So they like followed it up with this one, and it was such a huge thing.
Mm-hmm. Come on, LED doesn't bring me right to Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. They called it LED so that people wouldn't say Led
Okay, so
Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin Their most played song is Stairway to Heaven with 840 million plays.
Okay.
The second is Immigrant Song with 611 million. Then Whole Lotta Love with 531 million. Black Dog with 321 million. And then Rock and Roll with 222 million.
There you go. 3 from that album.
Yeah. Okay, so Immigrant Song. We'll see if it sounds better. Sounds a lot more like the drums. Come on, this sounds way better.
You think?
Yes. The bass, you can hear the bass. It sounds thick and full. This sounds way closer to that Nitty Gritty Dirt Band song.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think the drums sound better. I think they sound more close mic'd and of the time, late 60s, early 70s, close mic drums. The bass sounds way better. There's more reverb on stuff, so it has more of like a washy feel to it, which I don't necessarily like. But that guitar sounds better. It's not as shrill. There's mid-range frequencies in this. And that's what makes me mad. Like, don't people realize that this doesn't sound as good as this?
No.
That should be
they
more
don't.
popular than this. It's sick to me.
Well, maybe there's Led Zeppelin out there that you like.
They're probably. I like this way better.
Go to like.
Let's listen to Whole Lotta Love. This is the
That's
1990 remaster.
Yeah, that's from.
So this is their first. Okay. Now again, this type of distortion is different than what we were hearing here.
Right. Yeah.
So like it's different.
Intentional.
But listen to that bass guitar. Nice vocals. All I'm saying is there's no excuse.
Yeah.
And if there's no excuse, then like you said, this was intentional.
I wonder, maybe that idyllic place they went to record it was just crap.
Well, I wonder that. Or the fact that they did it themselves.
Well, I assume Jimmy Page produces all of them.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's getting
There's also
into
some
it.
distortion in there.
Yeah.
But this just sounds so much better, right? There's low frequencies, there's mid-range frequencies. This sounds like Kid Rock. And I say that as a person who definitively likes Kid Rock's music way more than Led Zeppelin.
Oh.
Having heard a Led Zeppelin album now.
You love to name drop the bad bands as greater.
But again,
than,
it sounds phenomenal. It's mixed phenomenally well.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
well,
Like, no, you said it. Now we're going to go. Because
Wait, what are we
listen,
gonna do?
listen to this style of music, right?
Yeah. But
No, you're not going to believe it, how much better this sounds. And it's the same exact style of music.
you're killing me.
The only problem is I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be able to play any of this.
Yeah.
No, we got to find a good one that has. No, not that one, though. That's a fantastic song.
7 years on wax, coming correct, flat out. You diss me both, that's when I pull a strap out.
Dude, I don't have the edited version of this, but I bet it'd be hilarious. Okay, this is not getting my point across.
Yeah, you're right. Totally better than Led
Just
Zeppelin.
like Led Zeppelin.
I don't know who would ever listen to Led Zeppelin again when you have this. Those other Led Zeppelin songs
Sounded better.
They have the capability of.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
potentially we could do another album in the future. And,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
You would be into it.
Oh, I don't. Even if you told me it sounded worse, I would listen to it for the purposes of just like you know
Yeah.
talking about it. Because the thing is, people need to know that this album sounds not good. You know what I mean? Like objectively not good, comparatively to other things of the time.
Maybe that's common knowledge. Maybe it's
That's
like
true.
Maybe it's like this is a great album, but they could have recorded it better.
Yeah, maybe
don't
that's
know.
true. Maybe that's a good thought. That's a good thought.
I meing, there's albums like that out there that people say that about. It's
yeah,
like,
that they just like appreciate for the
Yeah.
songs and not necessarily the production or
like
anything
if
like
only
that.
they could have recorded it better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
true.
that's what people think of the first few Metallica records.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wish that they could sound more modern or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Metallica was right on the cusp. You know, if you go back a certain amount of time, then you can't. It's not. It's like that's like a wish list thing. You know, like oh, I wish this could sound better because of the restrictions of the time. But after a certain period of time, those excuses run out.
Right.
You know what I mean? After like 1992, your album should sound pretty good.
Sure.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Sorry. Everyone's whatever. No one will want me to listen to Led Zeppelin anymore. They'll
We'll
tell
do
me
a Kid Rock album next.
tell me to stick with Kid Rock. I've actually been going through some of his discography, but I only have a couple of his albums, and I don't have any of the clean versions, which is what I would vastly prefer to listen to. But anyway.
Against the artist's intent. But who cares about lyrics anyway?
Yeah, and I clearly don't think the artist's intent is necessarily making the right decisions. So it's not like the artists know what's right with them, going right. And how many albums have I listened to this year from bands that I absolutely love that made a crappy sounding album?
Yep.
It still happens to this day, and there's no excuse for it now. And I don't think there was an
less
excuse for it
excuses
back
for
then.
it now.
Oh, way less excuses for it now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, there's so many reasons for why an album could sound bad, and like the only excuse that's passable to me would be the restrictions of the technology at the time.
But yeah, I agree.
But
that's
also
not,
budget. Budget
That's
would
not
also-
really an excuse for this, especially budget-wise.
Yeah, budget-wise.
sure this was
Budget is also a big deal too. I wouldn't expect a band's first album on an independent record label to
Right.
sound as good as something that was being pushed by a big record label with lots of money through it. So like that's another plausible or passable excuse. So all right, we'll end the video here.
All right.
I do like some other music, so you can go check out some of that on my channel. But there's also other stuff that I don't like that you can go listen to me rag on as well. So just check it out. Thank you. Think of subscribing, maybe. Feel free to yell at me in the comments.
If you want to see more Led Zeppelin,
Get to
which
200
I think we
views.
should.
yeah, I mean, I
What
would
we'd
do
like.
more Led Zeppelin. Like, I liked the idea of what was going on.
Tell us in the comments which
So-
one you would like next.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I don't know. I am not an expert.
And
enough.
feel free to go backwards in time too. Like if you
Yeah.
think that I would enjoy the first one or two or three or whatever
Well,
more.
obviously,
than
you
this.
thought 2 and 3 sounded better.
Yeah, the samples we just listened to, I thought, at least in that remaster, like who knows? Maybe they
Right.
like cheated on
I mean,
the
some
remaster.
of this sounded all right in various spots too.
Yeah, the acoustic stuff sounded okay, but then again, we listened to the
Can't tell
nitty
by
gritty.
just-
Okay, all right. Thanks everybody. Bye.